Let's turn the good vibes up and press the play. Make this the perfect start to an awesome day. So welcome to the stream, yeah, the show's begun. Come and join the fun for everyone. It's Mike's Unboxing Live, yeah, the place to be. Mike's Unboxing Live, come and see. Let's turn the good vibes up and press the play. Make this the perfect start to an awesome day. So welcome to the stream, yeah, the show's begun. Come and join the fun for everyone. It's Mike's Unboxing Live, yeah, the place to be. Mike's Unboxing Live, come and see.
Okay, I think we're live, possibly. Let me know if you can hear me and or see me in the chat. That would be very much appreciated. For those of you that can hear me, it is Saturday the 4th of April 2026 and it is approximately, well, I'm late, it's 8:15-ish. Thanks for joining us.
Rick H has got his mug t-shirt on. That's fine.
Hey, nice one. Mub t-shirts. Excellent. We can see and hear also. Now Mike needs to sing the intro song. Maybe not. Don't want to lose all the viewers straight away. So thank you all for joining us on this bank holiday weekend. At least it is for, I think, a lot of people. Let me know in the chat. Is this a bank holiday weekend in your location? And let me know where you're actually viewing from. Always interested to see. And if you're watching this as a video replay, do the same thing. Leave a comment and say if it's a bank holiday where you are and where you are actually watching the stream from. Not necessarily. Not everybody celebrates, because there are some
celebrates it, but it's Easter everywhere.
Yeah, but there's some non-Christian type countries, isn't there, which don't celebrate things like that. I guess, maybe. Don't know. Let me know.
I suppose, yeah. So would they get the bank holiday?
Who knows? Who knows? Happy Easter. Yeah, happy Easter. Hello to Sri Lanka. Race script. Thank you for joining us. Sunrab says it certainly is, even in Hull. Hull. Captain Shrapnel says, Mike, do you ever think of streaming on Kick? I don't know what Kick is, so no, I've never thought about it. Charles says, I didn't know tomorrow was Easter until like 20 hours ago. I go out very rarely.
We only find out last
Very
Friday.
rarely leave the house, but I've known Easter was coming since about Christmas, because that's when the co-op in our local shopping centre started putting eggs on the shelf. Literally, it was Boxing Day, yeah. Boxing Day, they had Easter stuff on the shelf.
When they do it.
Absolute madness. If I rub my arm, don't worry. I've just trapped a nerve somewhere and it keeps on twinging. It's really, really annoying. I did it months and months and months ago, maybe even a year ago. But yeah, I must have led funny. I've pinched a nerve in my arm.
Definitely not.
It's super annoying.
Is it? Definitely not.
There is an exercise you can do which kind of flosses the nerve. You kind of do that and twist your head or something. And sometimes you can actually feel the kind of nerve moving along, like flossing through the nerve thing. It's like a brake cable, I guess. Who knows? Ordinary Dude, I'm in the middle of an 8-day break due to the holiday and scheduling. I'll take it. Nice. It's a bank holiday here in Ireland. Lovely jubbly. Glad to hear it.
Kick only takes 5%, unlike YouTube, which takes 50%.
The thing is with Kick is I've not heard of it. At least I don't think I have. So if I've not heard of it and I am like been doing YouTube for a long time, you'd think I would have heard of it by now. But it does sound like an excellent idea. I will certainly look into it. Always open to new opportunities, and maybe, I don't know if you can live stream on multiple outlets at once. I guess it gets a bit difficult with chat, and I'm not that technically minded when it comes to how all these kind of software packages interweave themselves, which is quite strange being that we have a tech channel. But I do not claim to know everything. I'm certainly not an expert in many things, if any, but I do my best, and I have my safe zone of things that I kind of do know some things about. So I try to stick within those realms, if at all possible. Anyone who claims to know everything is wrong, straight away. I will definitely check it out. I'll make a note of it and I will check it out. Wraith Script says, upgraded my case to the Antec Flux yesterday. Flux Rear? Antec Flux. Is that supposed to be Pro or, I don't know. Flux Rear. Wood? Is that maybe? I don't know. It's an awesome case. Yeah, I like the Antec Flux. I thought it was a little bit expensive at the time when I looked at it, but judging by prices pretty much everywhere now, it's yeah, it's probably quite reasonable now. Mark Berry's nice. Good evening, Mubsters. Lost track of time outside on the spanners again. So for those who don't know, Mark Berry is in the process of restoring an old K10 Micra, I believe it is. Is it a K10? You have to correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. Basically a Mark 1 Micra, I think. Was it a Mark 2? No, Mark 2 Micra. The bubble-shaped one, rather than the blocky one, which is the first one. I think I'm right in saying that. I think the first one was a J10. Am I right with that as well? I don't know. I'm just guessing, just throwing numbers and letters at you, hoping that something sticks. K11. Thank you. I was close. It was a digit out. It's not too bad. Was the J10 the one before then, or was it the J11?
Well, like that Carol's one.
Yeah. K11 pre-facelift. What great cars they are. Some people may disagree with that, but I think they're pretty good. Dutch Jan says, I'm always right except when I'm wrong, and now I am right again. Good stuff. K10 had 2 of those.
You had a Fubbish, didn't you?
I had a Fubbish, yeah, which is the Mark
3, isn't it?
3, I want to say.
George?
It was called the Fubbish because it was effing rubbish.
Was the
We put the
Fubbish
two
a
words
Mark
together.
3? Was the Fubbish a Mark 3 Micra?
Or Mark 2. It was a Mark 3, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a K12, the one I had, which was around about 2001, 2002. Brand spanking new. And it actually was a lovely car. It was, it looked a bit odd, I thought, and the interior was a little bit strange. A bit like the Figaro, if you've ever seen the Figaro. It was a bit like that inside. At least it reminded me of that.
Flat feeling,
But it was like driving a sofa. You couldn't feel anything at all. Literally. And I had the sports model, like the SX or SXI or whatever it was. I think it was an SXI. Not sure. It was the sports model with the alloy wheels and everything. And yeah, the seats were so kind of sofa-like. Literally, you go around corners and you're like, just... it's like, almost like driving an old Ford Focus Estate. Now those were proper boats. Great stuff. Happy times. Yeah, I went from a Nissan Micra, traded that in and got a Corsa SXI. And then I think, or actually previous to that, no. I had the Fubbish. And then I had a 1.6 Mark 1 Focus Z-Tech 1.6. That was a great car. Really, really quick car. And then I went to the Corsa SXI. I like that. Corsas were great. Love those. Anyway.
You had a Fiesta at one point.
I did have a Fiesta. Yeah, I had one of the cars got chopped in at one point, and then I had a couple of year old
When you left that
Fiesta 1.6i, I think it was.
Didn't you have the Fiesta when you left that job?
Yes, I think I did. Yeah, went through some very strange cars in my past. My first car, which I actually purchased, was a Toyota Carina. I believe it was a Mark 1. That was lush. It had tinted blue windows. It was an orange car, or like a burnt red. And the inside, the interior was absolutely gorgeous. It was like a BMW is now. Oh, that was such a great car. It had like, it was an old T-Reg, like an old T-Reg, so 1978 or something. And yeah, it was amazing. It was a great car.
But Mike
Loved it.
Mike painted halfway up the doors with undersill.
I did.
And couldn't stop and did the bonnet.
I painted the bonnet with undersill on this orange car just to make it look like a bit of a bluesmobile. I was just bored one day, I think, and I used undersill and I painted the bonnet, and I had L plates on the car, and I actually just painted over the L plates, couldn't be bothered to peel them off, so just, yeah, undersill straight over there. I'm pretty sure that thing never rusted, ever.
Halfway at the doors.
Oh dear, it was good times, good times. Anyway, moving on. So hopefully we've got everybody in the chat who's potentially going to be for now. We'll see. I'm expecting low numbers tonight because of Easter. People away doing things. And also, Tech World has pretty much collapsed on itself. There isn't the interest that there used to be. So yeah, we're just kind of winging it. It's been one of those periods. RAM pricing, I don't know if you've noticed it. Possibly you have. RAM pricing has dropped a little bit. New models, a little bit. Second-hand stuff seems to have dropped a little bit more. And I do apologise, my Discord is going nuts over there. Yeah, memory prices seem to have been dropping. If you are a member of our Discord, which I will put a link in the chat, which hopefully that's going to work. Yeah, that worked. If you want to join our Discord, there is a fantastic room built within our Discord in the money section, where we have an eBay Discord bot, which picks up the best deals on eBay, and it's actually very frustrating because it's my bot, it's my Discord, and people beat me to it on these deals. There's been some absolutely cracking deals on there. There was a 4070 Super the other day that went for like £289, like under £300 for a 4070 Super. That is an insane price. Don't know if it worked. I'm guessing it did. I didn't look too close. I just saw that it was like done. I was like, okay, I'm not reading anymore. Also, there was some RAM. I saw some RAM today listed. Corsair Vengeance DDR5 32 gig kit, £168. Buy it now. That sounds much better than what we were used to seeing. It was always around about the 200, 220, maybe even 250 mark in some instances. But yeah, £168. Buy it now. Unbelievable. So feel free. You can also go in there and just check, just scroll back up and see previous bargains, see what has been about. But certainly it is an excellent opportunity to get cheaper parts. And of course, there is also our bargains no chat. So if you find bargains outside of eBay or even on eBay, you're more than welcome to post them in there to share with the community, especially if it's a deal where there's lots of stock, because it helps us all out. Very much appreciated if you can do that. Yeah, saving money at the moment, I think, is paramount to a lot of people. The economy is looking a bit ropey. Fuel prices are getting a little bit on the scary side. We filled up with fuel last week, I believe it was. Middle or end of last week.
The week before.
Or was it the week before? Week before. It was when the prices just started creeping up, like, properly.
Right up because they're too high.
And yeah,
has the heating on every night.
I think that was about 70 quid anyway. And it wasn't very much fuel. It was like, oh, this is not good. But that'll last us a year because we don't go out. Hopefully it will. Anyway, so yeah, the economy is looking a little bit shaky. Obviously, world events are looking a little bit strange as well. Funny enough, I did notice, I don't normally like to dramatise these things because it's all part of that fear narrative that they like to put out. But somebody did post on Facebook today that one of the local fuel stations near us in Kingswood / Soundwell, like on the border, actually had to close because they were out of fuel. They had no petrol and they had no diesel. They literally closed it. Yeah. So they've got a Tesco like mini market on the side of it.
It's a pain in the ass because people
which is a nose.
Fill up their
but yeah,
shopping baskets.
It was all cordoned off. You could not drive into the forecourt in order to purchase your fuel, which is a little bit strange. Who knows what will happen there? It's a very strange predicament to be in. It reminds me very much of the early 2000s when there were the fuel strikes, where the actual fuel tanker drivers were striking because of fuel prices. I think it was because fuel prices had just crept over to crept up from about 60p a litre up to £1 a litre. In the general public in the UK, no, this is enough. We're not paying that. So a strike was kind of organised. Early 2000s that was. I think it was 2001 possibly. Maybe 2002.
I was a bit worried the midwife wouldn't get to me, but
yeah.
I'd have done it if I had one.
So yeah, it's a strain. Zero Defects, the same thing near Glasgow. No fuel. There's Dave Aitken. How you doing, Dave? CMCB says good night. Good night. Nicholas Barlow's in from the USA. Good old USA. I was going to say the line from Team America, but I won't. Viali says our Sainsbury's is closed 3 times in 7 days for no fuel. Wow. Rafe says, I heard there are helium shortages too, which is needed for semiconductor manufacturing. Helium has always been one of those products where there has been shortages.
Have you talk to me in that
Yeah.
tone of voice?
When me and Kath worked at the BBC, we worked in the props department, and they would always want helium for like party balloons and that kind of stuff. It was like almost every episode had some form of helium balloons in there somewhere. They always seemed to kind of wangle it in there. And they would go, originally they'd go to a place called BOC, which was in Bristol, which is basically where you can get like bulk helium and stuff. You just take your container in there, they would refill it, etc. And it got to the point where they were having shortages and they couldn't do it. So the buyers would end up going to the local kind of co-op or ASDA supermarkets and just buy one of those kind of balloon kits, you know, like with a little keg of helium and a pack of balloons and like a little box, green box I think it was. And it would do like, I don't know, 50 balloons or something. And yeah, they would buy those and yeah, we'd have loads of those. We'd have about 5, 6, maybe even 7 or so boxes of those things just like in standby in the prop store. Which was very tempting to just get one and just inhale loads. You shouldn't do it, kids, it's bad. But yeah, helium has always been one of those products which is, I think it's actually quite difficult to get or to extract, or I don't even know where helium comes from. Does it come from, do they have to like squeeze it out of someone's funny bone or something? Well, I don't know, it's helium.
Remember when they had like carbon shortage?
Yeah, there was a carbon shortage not long ago.
No.
They couldn't make fizzy drinks. Now they're telling us not to create it. Bastards.
It's all such a mistake, isn't it?
Zero Defects says it's PPing it down here now. Yeah, apparently in the UK there is a thing called Storm Dave this weekend, which apparently is supposed to be kicking in around about this time. It was very windy the last few days, and it seems to be getting a bit windier. It seems to be picking up. I don't think it's going to be anything catastrophic, but apparently in some regions of the United Kingdom, probably, I'm guessing Scotland down to kind of the Midlands, is, I believe, under a yellow warning for weather. I could be wrong. It is a hashtag Blame Dave moment. Yes, very much so. Aletta says, hello, Earthlings. Take us to your leader. No, actually, don't do that. Please don't take us to your leader. I don't think I could stand there and keep a straight face. He is hella funny. Riley says, been gusty and rain for me, nothing too bad. Well, I'm reasonably pleased to say that I've actually spent the majority of this week in a complete coding coma, and I've got very little done this week because I have. Now, this is a somewhat interesting story and also a warning of such. So, I'll be honest with you, I'm not very good at coding. I know some of the basics, and I sort of can piece together blocks of code to kind of create what I want to create. Now, some of you may already know that there was a piece of software which I kind of co-scripted called the BIOS, a pre-BIOS check, which checks your BIOS to see what version it's on, your motherboard version, if there's updates, etc., etc. Things like your certificates, see if they're out of date, see if they need updating, Windows updates, that sort of stuff. It was quite a nice little tool and it worked reasonably well and still seems to. But there has been something which has been nagging at me for absolutely ages.
And it's not me.
And it's not Kath, no. This is something which actually has, well, it seemed to rear its ugly head when I changed from an NVIDIA graphics card to an AMD graphics card. So I'm currently using a Radeon 9070 XT. Don't get me wrong, happy with it. It does what I need it to do, so that's very good. But there does seem to be a weird conflict in Windows. Now, if you are a multi-monitor user, maybe you can chime in and let me know if you're experiencing the same thing. So for me, I have my main monitor in front of me, And like a lot of people, I have a separate monitor on the side, which is rotated into portrait. It's a USB monitor. Technically it's USB powered, but it's using an HDMI feed. And I've got it portrait, and I put things like Discord on there sometimes, or if I'm watching something, I'll put another window in there just so I can kind of keep an eye on two things without being too distracting. Now, the normal theory is, if you have that sort of multi-monitor setup, if you kind of go away from your computer, or you're not using your computer for a little while, your screen will go to sleep, or it will power down, Windows Power Management, that sort of stuff. Your screens will basically go blank, or your screensaver will kick in. And the normal behavior, if Windows is doing what it's supposed to do, when you wiggle your mouse or press your keyboard or press power to kind of wake your machine up, Windows should then reload itself, and your Windows, in theory, should be in exactly the same place that you last left them. That is the kind of the expected behavior. Now, Windows knows that this isn't always a thing. If you go into the display settings in Windows 10 or Windows 11, there is actually a subsetting which says about reconnect windows, or sorry, when monitors are reconnected, restore like locations or whatever, or just basically make it as it should be. And there's various other things you can do in the registry and all that kind of stuff. But for me, it's a real pain in the ass, because I set my power down on the monitor to about 5 minutes, because I don't want to waste power unnecessarily. There's no point having a monitor blaring away when you're not actually looking at it. So I set mine to sleep after about 5 minutes. And every time I go back to the screen, I wiggle the mouse, and Discord has moved from my side monitor to my main monitor. So every single time I've got to do that, then I've got to grab Discord, put it over, minimize it, maximize it, so it's in the right position. It's a faff. And if you have to do that like 30 times a day or more, it gets to be a little bit tiresome. I'll be honest with you, if I had hair, I would have pulled it out. I actually got to the point where I was trying to pull clumps of hair out my back just to relieve the stress. So I'm guessing that some people would be able to kind of live with that. I'm sat at my PC a lot, so it does frustrate the bejesus out of me. And I've tried various different programs and scripts and what have you to try and fix the problem, but nothing actually did what I actually wanted it to do. Now, apparently there is a thing called Fancy Zones, which is built into the Windows Power Toys. Power Toys? Yeah, Power Toys. There's a thing called Fancy Zones, which kind of does kind of what I want it to do, but it doesn't have a kind of a customizable engine so that you can choose what programs re-establish and where. Yeah, it doesn't do exactly what I want it to do. So I thought to myself, well, I'm a reasonably tech-savvy person. There is a thing called Google, and there's also a thing called ChatGPT. So surely, if I give it the correct information,
AKA Mijuli.
aka Mijuli, if I give it the right prompts, I'm sure that we can develop a program. Now, I started off doing this in Gemini. Rally. Did Display Fusion not work for you? Display Fusion, I'm not sure if I tried that. There was two main programs which I was recommended. One of them, what was the other one? No, there was another one called, was it something to do with W and S? I can't remember what it was. There's basically another program, but you go to the GitHub and it's like, well, there's the program. You've then got to do this, and if you want it to run at startup, you've got to then create this task, and then you've got to do this, you've got to do all this other stuff, and it's like, oh, I really can't be arsed with that. Display Fusion is something which I've heard people mention before, but I'll be honest with you, I've not looked at it in any great depth, so maybe that is the way ahead. Someone said there, try WinSize 2. Maybe that does the same thing as well. I'm going to show you the program that I've created. It's 99.9% finished. There are some of the logic sections which I do have to kind of tweak a little bit because I'm still using it and trying. I've actually only got it working today. This is actually where I was getting to with the point.
Dutch Jan.
Dutch Jan. Set that USB monitor as the main monitor. I could try that actually.
And then you've got Senrad underneath.
And Simrab says, question, when I start Valorant, both my monitors go blank for 4 seconds, then revert to normal. Would there be a window setting needed? Both monitors go blank. I don't know. It could just be the way that Valorant is like sending a call or whatever. Yeah, if it's only Valorant, not other games, then it probably is a Valorant setting. It's probably something to do like the anti-cheat. I don't know. Not too sure. Anyway, so that is the kind of the problem that I'm trying to address, but there's other things that I want to do as well. So I wanted it so that it was an adaptive engine. So rather than me having to kind of tell the computer how quickly my monitors wake up, I wanted it to actually keep a log of the time it takes for each monitor to wake up and then use a safe value based on that. So that after both monitors are fully woke up, reporting to Windows, then the restore engine can go, right, here's our snapshot of the Windows, let's poof, put it back up. And it would take snapshots based on the user's thing. So whether it be every minute, whether it be every hour or whatever, you can independently change it. Also, you don't have to have the restore being adaptive. You can do it so that you set your own like fail-safe. So maybe you say 5 seconds. So maybe you wiggle your mouse, your screens come up, it looks rubbish. Then after the count of 5, it's like, and they all ping back to the right places. Maybe that's what those other programs do. I'm not sure. John David Sullivan, did you see my message above? No, I didn't.
And also grumpy old David, do you want to say join Discord?
Oh, right. Yeah, join the Discord on that one. Sorry, I'll have to read that. I might DM you as we have troubles at my university regarding Multimonitor. It's a bit complicated to explain here. Yeah, feel free to do so. You know the email, mike@mikesunboxing.com.
Grumpy old David, say it.
Where was the other one? Other ones I said? Grumpy old David. I have an annoying problem with no fix. When I power my PC, it goes into BIOS, but with no display output. I have to press escape, then enter to get into Windows. Now that could be, depending on what sort of monitor you're using, that could be an HDMI signal or DisplayPort signaling issue. Some monitors do weird things so that it won't show a UEFI BIOS, but it'll, like, I've had that before. I've booted up a computer and there'll be some error message on the screen which I can't see. And then if I get past that message, Windows would then load. So I'm not too sure, but feel free to join our Discord and you can discuss it. And yeah, we can try and figure out what's going on there.
And Aldridge while you're...
I do like those sorts of questions. Aldrich, hi Mike, I lent a friend a PC and got it back recently. It's a 3070X 57XT with 32 gigs of RAM, B450 board. What upgrade would you recommend without going silly crazy? Case fits a 240mm AIO. Depends what you really want to get out of it. In terms of an upgrade, if you're on a B450 board, you've got a 3700, it's pretty fast for what it is. 5700 XT, I would say probably... Depends what it is you want. If you want better gameplay experience, then a different graphics card, an upgraded graphics card would be the way forward. Alternatively, if you want a little bit more horsepower CPU wise, you could get something like a 5600 or 5600 XT. Sorry, 5600, 5600X, 5600 XT, or maybe even a 5700X. Those would be noticeable improvements. The 3000 to 5000 jump was relatively well noted and quite obvious. It was about 20% faster. So it was actually a noticeable update.
He's got just a decent overall bump in gameplay, both GPU and CPU upgrades.
Yeah, 5700 XT, what would you go to from there? Maybe if you could get something like a... I don't know. I'm not too sure what the 5700 XT performance is comparative to now. I'm guessing if you went to like a 3070, that would probably be a big jump. Or maybe a 4060 if you can get one cheap enough. Yeah, 5500 XT is probably worth looking at. Ideally, a second-hand 5700X 3D or 5800X 3D, but they are ridiculous. J6 says, hi Mike, thanks to the person that gifted me a membership a week ago. No worries, I'm not sure it was. I don't think it was us, but hopefully whoever it was is here.
Rasher.
Might have been Rasher actually, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to switch to my screen now, and I'm just going to quickly go through this and show you what it's about. Ideally, I want some feedback on it. It isn't perfect at the moment. I still need to work on the logic and the installer and stuff like that, but hopefully you like the look of it and the kind of the general feel of it. So I'm going to put it onto the Stream desktop, which hopefully you can see. Yes, you can. And if we click on this icon here, this is called WindowMaster. So I'm going to move that over there so I can actually see what is going on, and I can see your chat as well. And actually, let's make that... actually, no, I won't make it bigger because that will just not make it be how I want it to be. So this is the home page and gives you like an idea of what it's all about. So WindowMaster, Windows layouts for Windows 10 and Windows 11, got the navigation on the side. Homepage says monitor your snapshot engine, confirm restores, and jump to areas that shape how your desktop comes back after wake or display changes. Restore behavior. So WindowMaster records layouts in the background and can restore after wake, reconnect, or manual hotkey use. The adaptive restore now waits for the display topology to settle before acting. As it says there, best results come from keeping your snapshot interval below your monitor sleep time and enabling adaptive restore in settings. So that is the kind of general thing. So it says here, this is like the information screen. So the engine is running in the background. So it says it's running. I may change it so you can toggle that so it's like an on off, so it stops the engine, starts the engine maybe. Here it says the capture time. So this is telling you when the last saved desktop snapshot was. And it also tells you when the last restore was. That is a little bit pointless, but it's more for me for testing purposes. And underneath there we've got recommended next steps. So you can open the settings, you can open hotkeys, and you can open the log files. So again, that's for kind of checking things out. Also, we've got a support page that just at the moment goes to the about page, which kind of makes sense at the moment. So that's the home page. Windows settings. So you've got the usual things. So start WindowMaster with Windows. The default is on. Minimize to tray instead of it showing on the taskbar. That was set to enable as a default, but I've actually turned it off because it actually makes more sense. So if I minimize, it just goes down to the here rather than going to the taskbar, because on my other monitor I can't access those. So I changed that back. Minimize to the tray instead of showing the taskbar. Yeah, that's just done that one. Close to tray instead of exiting, because obviously you don't want to accidentally click on X to close the window, but then it to close the program as well. So it closes to the tray. And also you've got the option to show tray notifications. So when there's a snapshot or any issues, it will show up down in the tray. Also got the options to reset to defaults and also an option to uninstall the program. Then we've got our tracking startup programs. So if you've got, like me, you want Discord to always start on your secondary monitor, you can turn this on. It will then enable tracked startup programs, and it only looks for programs which actually have a window of some sort. If they're hidden or system tasks, it ignores them. Not perfect at the moment. Again, I want to tweak this a little bit, but for me, so for that, if I click on Discord, Discord will always open up wherever it was last opened. So if I turn off the computer, it will now reopen on the second monitor rather than trying to open on the first monitor, regardless of which monitor wakes up first, which is the intended way I want it to work. Window recording, so you can set your snapshot recording interval. So depending on how much you use your computer, you can change this to set anything up to an hour or as quick as a minute. It has a very, very low CPU overhead, so it doesn't really make much difference which you do, just means the log files will get larger quicker. Most people, I think the safe default will be like 5 minutes. So that's pretty cool. The next one is going to be the Windows Restore. So if you want to restore Windows, there's two ways you can do it. So you can do the manual restore. So it will wait for your screen to wake up, and then it will count to 4. The default setting from out of the box is going to be 5, although the UI doesn't quite settle on 5 properly at the moment. I've got to work on that. So 5 seconds is the default. most monitors will wake up and report to Windows within 5 seconds. So then after the 5-second delay, it will then look at the log file, work out the positions of where monitors, where the apps were supposed to be, and then automatically restore them. There's also the adaptive restore mode, which you can turn on here. When you turn it on, it disables the manual, because it basically now is going to use the last 8 wake times of the monitor, and it will use an average time plus a second to give it a safe buffer. And there's going to be a 50 entry log. So if you change monitor and suddenly one wakes up a bit faster or one wakes up a bit slower, it can change it. So as you can see, the current learned restore delay is currently at 6 seconds, and that will change potentially in real time if you've got the app open, if you have like multiple sleep and wake cycles. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Hotkeys. So if you want to have a snapshot, this needs changing, because currently Alt Control S is a screenshot and Alt Control R is to restore. So I do need to change that. Also, the background engine actually looks to see if there are other Windows shortcuts which are using the shortcut you wish to use, and it will tell you that you can't do it and what program is actually using it. So that is pretty much that. And the About page basically tells you about it, and if you want to support us on Patreon, YouTube, or go to PayPal, or an email.
I thought that was what
Question, I only think it would point out and change, sorry, only thing I would point out and change is some of the wording, as window restore could be confused with Windows System Restore, creating restore point for the whole OS. Yeah, I do kind of, I was thinking about that. I did think about having screen restore, but that doesn't really make sense. It needs to be like something about the individual windows, because it's about the placement of windows. You're not restoring the screens, you're restoring the windows. But yeah, I do get you. So just for an example here, so if we go, I'll go back to the settings page for instance. If I move this over to here, and I wake up my keyboard, and I'll press Control-Alt-S. So I've just taken a snapshot now. So if I move this window just over here, and then press Control-Alt-R, it jumps back to where it was. So that is basically a real basic test of what it is supposed to do. So, and also a way of checking that the functionality is there. So if I move this kind of halfway off the screen, actually better still, if I have it here, so I'll do Control-Alt and S, this takes a snapshot, I'll then move it off the screen, I'll do Control-Alt-R, and it brings it back into where it should be. So you don't have to use the hotkeys. You can do if you want to. You can just use hotkeys and not use the actual automation engine. But essentially that is what it does. It just puts Windows, it pings them back to where they are supposed to be.
Restore window location, Sky suggested it.
Yeah, restore that. Yeah, that is the kind of, that's what it's trying to do. I probably still do need to work on the some of the settings, some of the functions and the functionality, and
He needs for the wording for that.
Yeah.
Button.
yeah, the restore Windows location. Yeah, that could be. I was thinking actually on the home page, rather than having hotkeys, just have these so that if you do capture or restore, these don't work quite right yet, because when you change window, it hasn't got a restore, so it needs to, I need to set it up so that it retains that information all the time. But again, that's just a minor thing. All the other things pretty much do stay where you've told them to, so the recording's still set to 5 minutes, the restore is that.
Saver you're on about though, isn't it?
What's that?
For this thing that you're doing here, it's just for a screensaver. It's not for hibernate or sleep, is it?
Yeah, it's for everything. So any...
Because they're all saying they don't use sleep or hibernate.
Yeah.
It's mainly for yours. It's just
yeah, it doesn't need to be sleep or hibernate. It can be basically any Windows event. So as it says there, WindowMaster is designed to solve problems where apps jump from screen to screen after startup, wake, disconnect, or power save events. So basically, yeah, screensaver, the power saving where your monitor switches off, physically disconnecting it, physically removing the power, waking from hibernation, Windows startup, whatever it is. It's going to be, yeah, it's going to be basically any type of change in the monitor. So basically, whenever the monitor changes, it's the way it appears to Windows. Go back to the main thing. So yeah, essentially how it works is when when a display is removed or turned off or goes to sleep or hibernates or goes to a blank screen, what that would normally do is it would give the Windows positions of the application as like 0.0. So obviously when you wake it back up, you don't want it to reload that junk data. So the engine actually is intelligent enough so that it records the last active position, ignores any 0.0 information, and only recaptures actual proper DPI settings and stuff like that. So depending on your resolution, like on my monitors, because I've got extended monitor, it appears to Windows as something like 3220 by 25, whatever it is. So it looks at both monitors and gives them like their proper places on the screen.
Come on, David.
So yeah, hopefully that is kind of how it works. Also for KVMs, if you're someone who uses a KVM and you switch between screens and you're fed up of those kind of moving, this should also fix that as well, because it works on exactly the same principle. It is only going to be for Windows 10 and Windows 11. I think that makes sense at the moment because it's a nightmare to do as it is. But yeah, hopefully you kind of like the idea and the principles behind it. If you know a program which does all this already and works in the same way, then let me know. I quite like using this personally, but also as well, it's very low CPU overhead and RAM and disk writes. So it's in Task Manager, it shows is like 0% for everything, even though it is fully running and creating logs and all that kind of stuff. In terms of memory usage, it's about 100 megabytes of memory it takes up. So it's a pretty small footprint for what it does. Now, it isn't tiny, it could be smaller. Possibly I'll work on that, but I think 100 megabytes is pretty reasonable, even if it does kind of bloat a little bit more past that. I think that was ideally what I was looking for. Very lightweight, very low CPU overhead, very minimal RAM impact and hard drive impact, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's cool. Sky says, it looks great, Mike. Fantastic you created a program to fix the problem you had. Yeah, that kind of is what it is. I wanted to fix my own problem. I've spent probably the last month or so looking at various other methods of doing it, which have been recommended. Some of which have partially fixed it, some have not fixed it at all. So that's why I wanted to do it myself. And I did start out, like I said, with Gemini, creating like just a normal script, PowerShell script. But that got to the point where it was just not going anywhere. There were so many security things and you had to elevate privileges to use it. And I just wanted a simple exe file, which you can basically drag onto your computer and it will do everything for you and creates all the logs, etc. you need. Creates the Windows startup tasks, the task scheduler, the background hooks as well, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's been pretty cool. Although I did think, right, Gemini's not doing it for me. Let's see what Copilot has to offer. So I thought, well, I'm writing a program for Microsoft Windows. Copilot is a Microsoft Windows program, so it should be good at this. So at this point, I installed Visual Studio 2026, the latest .NET 10, and basically gave all of my script that I had already created to Copilot and said, look, this is what I'm trying to do. Give it some prompts. What can you come up with? So it was giving me like file by file things. And I spent the last week, pretty much from the time I woke up to the time I went to bed, trying to get this code to work. And up until about 11 o'clock last night, this was still very basic and didn't look anything like it did and basically wouldn't work. The logic engine would not talk to the UI. The UI had no impact on the logic. yeah, it was an absolute shit fest. And I was getting to the point where I was literally going to smash the computer up a couple of times, especially when it said, this isn't working really. Maybe we should start with this framework and start afresh. It's like, no, we've started afresh now 5 times. I am not doing this again. So I just thought, right, I'm relatively happy with the layout. Let's just save it as it is and walk away. So today, as much as people are going to hate this, and I hate myself a little bit for doing it, I used the OpenAI Codex tool, which is, someone said is good for doing this sort of thing. So I thought, yeah, all right, let's give it a try, see what it's like. I installed that at about maybe midday, 1 o'clock today. And in the space of about 3 hours, I had managed to create all of this, basically from showing it my existing code. It rewrote everything. I didn't have to get involved at all. It knew where the files were on my computer. It was on my computer. It asked me for a couple of prompts, and then it said, right, okay, I'm going to scan through the entire engine, all of your files, and we'll get everything working. And just went through bit by bit, told it what I wanted to do. It came back with some UI changes, like, no, don't like that, need to do this, whatever. The logic engine needed changing, the layouts and stuff. And yeah, within about 3 hours, it was basically done. There's a few bits that I've got to do. I was using the free version of Codex, which has a hard limit on how much you can do per like cycle. So I can't add it. I can't use it now for another week unless I pay money, which I'm not going to do. So yeah, this time next week, hopefully, I'll be able to finish this off and have it completed. ChatGPT is the best, says Aletta. Have you tried Grok? No, that's what I might do. I have been extremely impressed with the results from Codex. So potentially what I'll do is I'll kind of save that and kind of sandbox it, then take all of the code and put it into another AI just to kind of tweak the last settings and see how well it does. But I was amazed how well Codex did. It reorganizing my code, looking at, because even when I was using Copilot, and you'd think Copilot would be good at doing this, every time Copilot redid something, something else broke, or there was more errors in the code and it just wouldn't run. Oh my God, it was so frustrating. And it treated me like an absolute imbecile, which was good until the point that it suddenly thought that I was some sort of wizard.
You wonder why your bloody shoulder hurts.
And told me, like, right, okay, if we do this, put this block here, change that to this, do that. Like a list of about 30 things. It's like, whoa, I am not a coder. I can give prompts and kind of copy and paste some things, but you're telling me to do things I have no idea what it's doing. Like, it says, like, now paste this into such and such. Like, well, that doesn't even exist. Didn't even tell me, like, you need to create a folder, put this file in it, call it such and such, then copy and paste this text into it. Codex didn't even do that. I just dumped the code into the box, typed in the prompt, and you could see it all working away. And it's like, thinking, and then it says, right, now I'm going to do such and such. Now I'm going to reorganize this. So I'm going to remove nullable areas, etc., change out the variables, put all this into a modern UI, blah, blah, blah. And it just did it all for me. I was amazed. And I'm very, very pleased because I've spent the last week basically pulling my hair out, being very upset with not getting the results I expected, thinking stupidly that Copilot was going to be able to help me. And it hasn't. It's been absolutely useless. So even more reason to use those tools that we do videos on, how to remove Copilot from your PC, because it is awful, absolutely awful. I can't think of a task which I've ever tried to do in Copilot where it's actually been useful or helpful.
Matthew Day says that's how Microsoft make window updates.
Oh, what, through Codex or Copilot?
Yeah.
Yeah. If they're using Copilot for Windows updates, God help us. It's awful, honestly, absolutely terrible. So yeah, Grok, I might give that a go. ChatGPT, isn't that part of OpenAI? I think ChatGPT is like a cut down version of the Codex engine. Codex is basically ChatGPT, as far as I know, but with a core thing around actually creating code.
When you carry on using this, they'll start charging you for it.
No, I'm not they're not charging me for it,
They
the
will
bastards.
eventually, won't they? They'll
Yeah.
get rid of everyone's jobs with it, and then they'll start charging you for the information you...
Dave says I pay for Claude at work. Kisses my ass for far less than ChatGPT. Excellent. Jason says yes, it's OpenAI. Sky says, hey Mike, any idea how much it would have cost you if you had to pay to use the AI? It's £7 a month. But there are still some caps on that. You can't use it like continually all day, every day. You get extended use. There's another one which that's like there's a plus version, I think, or a pro version. The pro version is like £20 a month. Now, I guess you could just pay the 20 quid for 1 month, finish the app and then be done with it. But I think most people probably, once they do it, they kind of get the bug and then want to just keep on doing it. So that's how they get their repeat money. But I don't know. Anyway, so hopefully you kind of like the application and the principles behind it. Again, if you have got any suggestions on another piece of software which will do what I want it to do, the same as what you've seen in here, please, please, please let me know either in the chat now or in the comments section. I do read all the comments, 100%. All the comments get read, especially like fresh ones, new ones. Replies to replies I struggle finding, but if you put a fresh comment, I will 100% see it and I will 100% respond to it in some way, shape or form.
Understand it.
If I can understand it, yeah. So, and Alessa says, I have the paid version of ChatGPT for my writing business. Yeah, I think that is not bad. Dave Under says £7. Get over that. That is cheap. I know, but I don't like.
It's just £7 there and £7 there. And
it's a principle, really. Like,
do you want to pay for something that's taken people?
The whole thing of like it being open AI. Surely it should be open. Just let me use it, you bastards. But anyway, I'm going to take the code into other apps, Grok and what have you, see what it can do. I don't think it's going to be as helpful because Codex, you actually have an application on your PC, you dump the code into it and it's got access to the code so it can rewrite the code for you rather than like just taking your copy and pasted files and then regurgitating them, then you putting them back in, saving them, rerunning it, etc. It does all that. And Codex actually, weirdly, it does everything. It packages it up and puts it into an exe and all sorts. It's very, very clever. Anyway. So, yeah. That will... Oh, Dave Under says, I've spent over $70 the last month for Claude, but earned 500 plus. Hey, if you can make money out of it, why not? It's all about investment, isn't it? If you can put in £100 and get a couple of hundred back, it's a win. Right, so I think we're done with that.
That's what we think.
Why is my...
Premium CD keys, isn't it? Buying batches of them and selling them on eBay for more.
Some of my fans have speeded up a little bit. I've noticed that all day. Sky says it requires power and infrastructure. £7 is very reasonable. Yeah, like I've paid more than that a month for things which I use a lot less, or have had much less performance from. Like I can't believe in a short sort of 2 to 3 hour time, I basically rewritten the entire app and made it look exactly, well, not exactly, but pretty much 99.9% of what I wanted it to do. But my vision of what I wanted was, yeah, it was just there. It was good. Happy days. Rasher says, so that's Microsoft Edge and Copilot for the recycle bin. Yeah, oh God. How can Copilot be so bad? Like, I like to use native Windows apps where I can, because it's just easier, isn't it? Because they're there.
I don't trust.
But when they're shit, it does make you wonder. It really does. Andy says, Clippy, yeah. Okay. Right. That's enough of that nonsense. Let's move that monitor there, move that there. I'll get that back so what's going on. Right. Next, let's take a look at some of the things which we've bought this week. There's not been a lot because I've been up to my ass in code, unfortunately.
Right, stop.
Brick says, Mike, how are you liking your Intel rig? I'm still liking it, but I had to put the 265K back in because Intel and MSI, the bastards, wanted the 270K back. And bizarrely, I messaged them and said, the video's all done, blah, blah, blah. Didn't get a reply. Then on, I think it was Monday, they sent an email saying, oh, thanks for the video. Would it be all right for us to collect the CPU tomorrow? And it's like, oh, shit, yeah, okay. If you want it back, no problem, but I'm gutted. And I didn't hear anything back. So I boxed it all up, got it ready, and just said, right, it's boxed up ready. If you can send me the return envelope. And nothing. So the 270K has been sat in a box in the hallway all week waiting for MSI to send a return label. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe, because I did say in one of the reply messages, it's all boxed up ready to go unless you really don't want it back. So maybe they've just decided, oh, sod it, just let them keep it. But they haven't told me that. So I don't know what I can do with it. Yes, Kath?
YSO53.
YSO53. I have a question. Good. I bought a Minisforum N5 Pro AI. There's your problem, buying from Minisforum. Sorry. In the BIOS, with 96 gigs of RAM, in the BIOS split for 50-50 system and GPU, but was told to put rest systems. Yeah, normally, it depends on the onboard graphics you've got there on the N5 Pro. If you're using AMD built-in graphics, then normally like 8 gigs is more than enough to share. Like 4 is probably fine. More times than not, you can set it to be adaptive, so it'll just use whatever system RAM it can when it needs to. Normally, most AMD onboard graphics don't require you to manually set it these days. There were some older games where, because the GPU would report to Windows that it was using like a gig or half a gig or something, some games would refuse to run. But a lot of modern games have been coded now so that they recognise that it is a mobile or a integrated graphics, and it can use kind of whatever RAM it sees fit. So yeah, without knowing what graphics is, if it's Intel onboard graphics, then it's quite usual for it to only use like 512K at the most, or 512 megs or something.
I use it for NAS, not gaming, or LLMS.
Oh right, okay. If you use it for a NAS or for LMMs, yeah, I don't know whether, again, depending on what chipset it's using. If it's using, not chip, whatever the onboard graphics are, I'm guessing if it's a modern one, it'll be like the AMD 890 or something, or 895 or something. Which, yeah, there's no real point of allocating a load of memory to it, because I don't think it can actually really use it. Inky, I just finished level 1 and 2 coding at college. Didn't use AI in my projects at all, and I still don't know what I'm doing. I hate coding. Yeah, coding sucks. I'll be honest with you, coding sucks. Actually, coding itself sucks. The design element of actually making an application, I love that. Like, actually having an idea, visualizing it, what you want it to do, and then giving someone that instruction to say, right, this is what I want to see, or this is what I need it to do, this is how I want it to look, you make the code. I think that is really the future of coding, because coding is like, I guess there's some people which can do it very easily and whatever, and it's just like comes straight to them, but there are so many complexities to it that an AI LLM can kind of nail in a few seconds, whereas it'll take a human hours. And if you're doing it as a job or something, like, why would you want to do that? Just sat there for hours. Yes, I know it gives you a sense of like self-worth and like satisfaction that you've done it yourself, but why bother? Like, time is short, life is short, just let it do it for you if it can, as long as it doesn't cost you anything. And I think application designers are probably more sought after than actual coders, now that coding can be done by AI. But I don't know.
Oh, not on the keyboard, baby.
Yeah, and I suppose it depends on what language you're coding in as well. That's another thing as well. But I think by the time a lot of people get proficient in one type of coding, it shifts anyway, and you have to move to like another code or a different type.
What is it?
Kath's getting naked. 23.8 degrees Celsius currently. You have got a jacket on. Is that your phone going?
Yeah. Oh, where's my mouse, Dave? I have to move it because of you, didn't I?
Viali says, anyone else get the April the 1st email for downloadable RAM? No, I didn't. Yeah, a NAS shouldn't really need much RAM because a NAS really, again, depending on the NAS software you're using, and if you're using like Docker containers and stuff, I'm not sure how the LLM would actually be able to access all the memory anyway. I don't think it even can through a layer. Again, I don't know. It's not really my field of expertise, sorry. Greg M says, I took COBOL in university eons ago, along with a host of other languages. I did a lot, well, not a lot. I did a couple of years of BASIC in the very late 80s. And then sort of went on to MS-DOS in like 1991. But I've never really been into code at all.
You didn't go to college very long there, did you?
No.
About a month? If that.
It's about a year.
Was it?
Yeah. Sky says, AI is great for doing some things, but being creative will never be one of them. Yeah, I think this is one of those things that a language model or AI can only ever be as good as the information that you put into it. Some are better than others at kind of working out what your... Actually, that's something as well, which I think is something which as well that... I know a lot of these LLMs are designed to be kind of used with normal human language, but I think we give it too much credit. I think, especially from some videos you see or some like advertisements, you see the prompts they give, and the prompts are quite basic. I think to get the most out of it, you have to give a very, very detailed prompt with kind of variables knocked out and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, it's all good. Okie dokie. Right, let's look at what I bought this week. Again, there isn't a lot because I've been busy. But I did, well, at the end of last week I bought this. So this is some RAM from a company called Juhor, I believe, which, from what I can tell, is like an AliExpress brand. I don't think it's AliExpress's own brand. I think it's just a brand which predominantly sells on AliExpress. And it does appear that it is mostly, the writing and the packaging is all in Chinesium, which I'm, yeah, not particularly good at deciphering. It all looks somewhat generic. It doesn't really even give you the specs. It just says DDR5, 16 gigabytes, 5600 X 2 pieces. So I have no idea what the timings are. And it doesn't actually say anywhere on the packaging what the timings are. So you will potentially be finding out at the same time as me. We'll have a look at the... Oh, I've zoomed in on the overhead. How do I manage that? Must have pressed the button. Oh, wrong way. There we go. There we go. So, this is the Juhor.
Juhor is saying.
Juhor.
Sorry.
It's not very polite, is it?
That's what they're all saying.
So that is the RAM. Oh. So the timings don't look great at first blush. I am going to get the... actually, I've got bloody viewers. You lot can read it for me. I don't need no AI. You can do that. See if that's going to actually focus. So, does that say CL40? I think it does. Oh, monitor's just turned off. Great. Yeah. Juhor. Focus. What does it say? 46? It doesn't say 46. Right, where's the bloody magnifying glass? It's alright, I got the magnifier now. Holy shit. Yeah, CL46. Oh, what? That's bullshit.
I bet it showed that on the listing as well.
It didn't.
I bet it did. And you couldn't see it.
No, because they deliberately didn't. They wouldn't have put that on there because
Why
that's
didn't you ask?
shit. Because it was a last minute buy it now thing.
Ever felt like you've been asked?
Yeah. So, what is PC5 44800U? Can someone please put that in the comments? Oh no, I've been done. I was really happy. What is 46? It's a CL.
But what does that mean?
The CAS latency. So how quickly the RAM refreshes. So it's 5600 CL46. Ouch. U for undead. Don't panic, it will still perform. Yes, I'll just have to put it in with a an X3D processor where the latency makes no difference at all. Oh god. Yeah. Ask AI. Actually, I'm going to do that. I'm going to check on my phone a minute. Let's go back to the main camera. I feel terrible now. But that might be... Let's hope that's the JDEC settings. So, what was that? PC5.
How much was it?
It was about 220 quid.
Oh my god.
I feel sick in my mouth.
You wouldn't let us even fill the car up with petrol.
Oh god, yeah. I do feel rather ill. Oof. Oof. Right, let's put CL46. That's basically laptop RAM, isn't it?
Now you know what happens with the RAM that the brand names reject after testing.
Yeah. Oh no. Ever feel like you've been had? Let's put in Juhor.
Better check they even work at that speed.
It's going to take so long to boot, I don't know if I'll be able to test it. Juhor. Oh god, yeah. Juhor DDR5 5600 CL46 is a budget-orientated high-speed RAM module primarily available through AliExpress and other direct-from-China retailers. It is designed for both desktop UDIMM and laptop SODIMM platforms, offering a balance of high capacity and standard DDR5 speeds.
Not speed.
It says there the voltage should be 1.1 volts, but this says 1.25. So I'm wondering if there's an extra expo setting. Component variety. Juhor uses selected particles, which can come from various top-tier manufacturers: Samsung, Hynix, Micron. Those are the only ones, really. Compatibility with XMP 3.0 and AMD Expo for easy overclocking. CL46 latency. While 5600 megatransfers is fast, CL46 is a relatively standard stroke high latency, which is common for value-orientated DDR5 RAM. Okay, so don't panic buy RAM is what I'm saying. Does anybody want to buy some RAM? I was just thinking of that, Alan. It says, I'm sure Glenn would be able to overclock them to CL30. I'm going to be able to do that. Eh?
Glenn's written underneath that.
Oh, did he? What did Glenn write?
You can read it, can't you?
Oh yeah, likely Hynix or Micron, either can be made to perform just like a good kit. Yes! That's what we want to hear. Okay, so now that I'm somewhat recovered from the travesty, which is the Juhor RAM, Oh dear, Chinese companies make you piss, they really do.
They want me to test it.
I am going to test it. It's going to test it. But this is... I also purchased this. This was also in the eBay bot. The Juhor RAM wasn't, I don't think. That was a side hustle. Or like a side mission. This was actually on the eBay bargains bot. And it was about to finish the listing at 65 quid. I was like, oh, I would love one of these for 65 quid. I didn't get it for 65 quid. I think I paid about 90, which for what appears to be a brand spanking new ROG Strix B650A gaming whatever is flipping awesome. Like anything around £100 for one of these is good, even used. But for it to be brand spanking, which it appears to be, if you buy these brand new, 150 pretty much. Sometimes you can get them at like a deal for 120 or something. But yeah, I'm happy. I've saved a decent chunk of cash. It should be brand spanking new. So again, I am very happy. The box feels very box fresh. And it has got a sticker on here that says the barcode and new item.
That sounds very sanitary tally. Box
Yeah.
fresh.
Box fresh. Box fresh. Sorry about that. Right, let's have a look, see what's going on. Where are we on? Overhead. Dun, dun, dun. So this to me looks like, let's have a look, see if the antenna's been opened. That's the telltale sign. No, that looks like it is a brand new. So that is a good sign. Very good sign. Let's have a look underneath and see what's going on. I haven't touched this, I only opened it. It arrived on Wednesday and I only opened it yesterday. So yeah, it looks like all the usual suspects there. The pads, the SATA cables, the those things, the thermal pads. It's got this, even got the bloody cable ties, got the ROG key fob, keyring thing. It's even got a manual. Like, wow, an actual manual for a motherboard these days. A warranty card. It's even got the stickers. If this works, this is going to be brilliant. It should do. Wrong brands, Mike, says Dutch Jam. No! ASUS is the way. Sort of. I did actually... Oh. See, you can tell it's brand new because no sucker can get these back in the right way. No, SATA cable. It's better. Lovely, lovely. This all looks very, very spanking new. So I am somewhat pleased. Let's have a look, see. Has it got the smell? Oh yeah, that is off-gassing. You can smell some... Oh yeah.
Your bananas went off.
That
Chemically ripened by motherboard gas.
chemically ripened by motherboard gases. That's what happens. Yeah, what a beautiful board. Yep, everything looks to be absolutely A1 condition. This is, I'm sure this has never ever been used. Oh, look at those pins. They are in fantastic shape. One of them's catching the light a little bit in the top, but that's more manufacturing, I think. But those look like they've never been used. The whole board is absolutely pristine. So yeah, I am very, very happy. Well, actually, yeah, it's still got the peel on the back, so I'm going to leave that where it is. Look at the I/O. It's actually got multiple outputs for audio and inputs. If pin's okay, then it's a bargain. So I'm hoping it is. I am hoping that it is. So let's get this out of the way, and let's we can zoom out a bit. Actually, don't need to be that close. They're looking good so far. Oh, actually, I suppose I should use the box. Actually, I don't need to use the box, do I? I will get my little test bed out, like we did last week, or the week before, or whenever it was. Oh, sorry. Do amuse yourselves while I'm busy. I know you will. Okay, let's go back to the main camera for a little. So, yeah, this is our little test bed platform, which was, oh God, I'm thinking in the back of my mind already. This was kindly provided, words is hard, by O'Reilly and Andy Archer, I believe.
Yeah.
Kath says yes. Kath remembers these things. I
I don't
don't.
remember faces.
Captive IO shield. Yay! Yes. It's an ASUS board. It's quality. I do like a good ASUS board. I really do.
Hit the pins with a hammer to check for durability.
Good idea. We should definitely try that. After I've just spent £225 on some shitbox RAM, I'm less inclined to do that, to be fair. Rick says, yay, my favourite power supply. This is the power supply of doom. I don't know why I haven't thrown this in the bin yet.
Because you won't throw anything out.
I don't like to throw things away, to be fair.
No. But you love chucking my stuff away.
Chuck anything. I did throw away some out-of-date trail mix today. Because I haven't been on a trail for ages. Who'd have thought it? Good times. Andy and O'Reilly.
I just thought you could see his name.
Okie dokie.
Okay, oops.
Get this bad boy lined up. It's a nice looking board. So I've got a plan, or a sort of plan of action of what I'm going to do with this. So I've still got the Thermaltake View 380W, the wooden one, or the one with the wooden bit of trim. So I wanted to do a white themed build. Now, white motherboards are an absolute pain in the arse to get hold of, and also so are white graphics cards, unless you want to pay the appropriate tax on those, which personally I don't. So what my intentions are is the motherboard is predominantly black, silver and some white accents. So it's going to go into a white case with a white AIO, it's going to have white fans, and it's going to have a black graphics card. So it actually stands out like a sore thumb. So it's like you've got all this kind of white, and then in the middle you've got your graphics card just contrasted, which actually, the more I think about it, the more I like the sound of that. And with black graphics card, it means it opens up the options of then you can have a black power supply, because black cables going into a black GPU looks fine, but black cables going into a white GPU looks weird. And also white cables going into a black GPU looks weird, because it's like a contrast thing, isn't it? It stands out, and I don't want to do that. I want it so that it all looks like nicely blended in. Even though I don't care really, because it's not going to be something that I'm going to keep, it's going to be something that I'm probably going to sell. But, you know where I'm coming from. Rasher says, where do you store and hold all of your tech stuff, Mike, when you haven't got an outdoor shed? It's here, it's under the table. There's a couple of cases in the loft, but otherwise it's here. This is it. What you can see here. Or what we can see. It's horrible. It's like being... Do you remember when you were younger, there used to be a thing on the BBC called The Broom Cupboard, where Andy Peters or Philip Schofield or Andy Crane, God, I can't believe I remembered all those. They used to work from the Broom Cupboard, which was basically like a really small space with Gordon the Gopher and a load of shite. It's basically like a storeroom. I feel very much like that. That is my life, the Broom Cupboard.
But only because he won't get rid of stuff.
Yes.
I feel like I'm in the broom cupboard because it's all your stuff, isn't it?
And of course.
Crammed in the corner.
Yeah, poor Calf's crammed in the corner over there, but that's her own fault.
Because
I don't know. Right, let's find a processor. So, did we confirm the other week that the 7700 worked? I think we did. So I'm going to use that because I think that makes more sense to do that. So let's stick a CPU in the socket before I bend some pins. I don't want to bend pins. Bending pins is rubbish. The 7700 is a great CPU. I would say in terms of the AMD lineup, especially when you look at in like AliExpress prices and stuff, the 7700 is the one that people always go back to because it's just such great value. And it seems to have kind of almost always been. Yeah, 7700. Cracking. Okay, right, let's stick the RAM in. Should I do both sticks first and then make sure it boots? I don't really want to do one at a time because it's bad enough having to use one rather than, oh, wrong slot. So slots 2 and 4. Cool, those are very, very hard. So let's put the RAM in. I always get this around the wrong way. I think I've said it before, but I really do hate the fact that the offset pin is in such a bizarre position. That sounded okay. So this one goes with the sticker away. The heatsink on this is absolutely insane. I will show you the heatsink and how thick it is. Sorry, Flame. Hopefully you can... Is that actually focusing? Can you see how thick that heatsink is? It's absolutely chongus. So, hopefully that means it's going to cool better, or it means they've had to do that because the RAM is crap and it gets really hot. Who knows? No doubt we will find out in due course. I think those are actually going to look quite nice when they're illuminated. Don't know whether they're going to look like they're worth £225. I'm going to struggle to sell this PC, I feel. Especially trying to actually recoup some of the costs. And especially seeing as there's less interest now than there ever has been. So, what else do we need? Let me know in the chat. What do we need now? We need something. I think it might be here. Let's put the old faithful in here. The old Thermalright, which I think we actually... Ooh, nearly lost it. I think we actually had this out on the table last week, didn't we? Pretty sure we did. Oh, I don't need those anyway, do I? Or do I? Screw, screw, Barney McGrew, Cuthbert, Dibble, Grub. Do you remember? If you're old enough, you're probably... Well, most of you might know this. Did you remember a rave tune back in the early 90s that used the Campbellwick Green... Used the Campbellwick Green thing. The Drew, Barney McGrew, Cuthbert, Dribble, Gub. Or it might have been Trumpton, I don't know. Yeah, was it called Trip to Trumpton or something?
Probably. You're looking at the wrong...
Grumpy old David remembers.
You're looking at the wrong programme.
UZ. I know. It's been a long day. It's been a long week. I am fucked, honestly. My brain is complete mush. But it's my own fault because I've been overdoing things. Trip to Trumpton. I missed out on life. Never listen to that kind of stuff, says a letter. Rick says I have 4 more of those. They work great. Thanks for the recommendation. Oh, what? These? Coolers? Or did I miss that entirely? John Dawson says, same here. Yeah. I've been a bit frazzled this week. Again, it's my own doing. I've overdone it. I've burnt much more of the candle than I should have done. Life happens.
Still working.
Yeah. Let's hope me pink bloody thingy surprise is working. Just noticed my cup wasn't very level there. Not that it makes any difference. Thermalright coolers, always hate it. We've got the pink bits. Nobody likes to see pink bits unless it's in the privacy of your own bedroom. In which case pink bits are, well, somewhat sought after. Told you it's been a long week. Why is it always as well? Bank holidays feel like they're longer than normal weeks.
Because they are.
They are, but they're not.
Oh, what, working weeks, you mean?
Yeah. A bank holiday working week often feels longer than a normal week. And I think it's because a lot of people, they have to compress 5 working days into 4. It's just so they can have the time off on the bank holiday.
And I suppose that's why when I was more of a traditional wife, but I suppose when we went on holiday, it's because I had to get everything done for when I was away. So I was always burnt out by the time I went on holiday, and burnt out by the time I'd done everything getting home. That's why I don't like going on holiday.
Yeah. That is a problem, isn't it? Oh, did I mention? I'm not sure if I did. If I mentioned it, that my stepbrother won the Amaze £1 million. Well, he didn't. His wife did, but he won the £1 million draw the other week.
And your stepbrother is your half brother.
Sorry, half brother. Same father, different mother. £1 million.
And how many times have you met him?
How many times have I met him? 3? 2?
I've met him one more time than you.
Kath's,
No, twice more than you.
Kath's met him a couple more times.
And I met him before you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I've never been a very sociable person.
That wasn't planned. He just turned up when I was visiting Mike's dad.
Happy for you meme. Thanks, Alan.
But he's got loads of new mates he didn't know before.
Yeah.
But you hadn't contacted him, have you?
What happened there? My screen's just gone mad. Is that my software? Oh dear. It's just gone and tried to, I don't know, it's done something. It's made my window massive. Right, I suppose I should turn that off actually. It is still very much in beta, so yeah. Exit. Don't know what it was trying to do, a restore or whatever.
Did you show them? What's it gone now?
Oh god, where's that gone?
That's on the thing behind you.
Oh, that's the wrong screen altogether. Right, Max.
It's all on the thing behind you.
I know. Right, let's move that back over there.
Okay,
Let's move that to there. And move the chat to there. There we go. Sky says, show us, Mike. Show you what?
Your screen being all fucked.
Oh. It just stretched out on there. So the YouTube studio screen was basically stretched across and my other bit disappeared. There is something weird going on with this PC prior to me doing all this anyway. That this monitor every now and then just goes blank for no reason.
And mine does.
Kath seems to be doing it as well. So
Mine's been doing it for about 2 years, but you've only taken notice since yours is doing it.
yeah,
as well.
I don't know whether it's a Windows thing, whether it's I've got so many different HDMI cables and splitters and all sorts connected up through that troubleshooting it is actually quite difficult. But it seems to have gotten worse on mine since I bought an Amazon 4K 60Hz splitter. I think, but I can't remember if it did it before that or not. Thank you, Glenn. You lovely man. There's another £4.20
Hold on.
towards our. Well, the RAM's now cost me £220 and 50 and 80 pence.
20 pence, yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right.
The RAM Reclamation Fund has officially begun. RAM replication. Reclamation, even. Actually, you can tell this is brand spanking because the ARGB pin headers are actually got a plastic bung over them, which doesn't want to come off. Oh no, it was a fan header. Why is that fan header covered? Oh, there all are. What the actual bejesus? Have you ever seen that before? The RAM, the fan headers all have like rubber bungs over them. What the actual bejesus is going on? I need some pliers. I never have pliers in my little doodads.
You need nails.
Actually, I need the light.
Nails and glasses.
I need nails, glasses, and laser surgery. I'm getting deja vu. I'm sure we said this last week. Yeah, rubber covers over the pins on the PWM headers, and they've actually even got. Wow. I don't know how I'm going to be able to show you this on screen, but you never know. They've actually got the ROG logo on them. Can you see that?
Roger that.
Roger, Roger, Roger. Did you see that? ROG over the rubber covers on PWM headers. Why? Why in God's name would you need that? Is it on all of them? No, it's only on the top ones. For some reason. That's the most weird thing I've ever seen, I think.
I'm sure it's got ROG if it say remove.
Yeah, it might say remove rather than ROG. The old,
It's just assume in.
the peepers aren't what they used to be. I'm not that bad. I am.
Oh, they're just a logo. It doesn't say it.
No, it's just the logo. But that's still pretty cool, isn't it? Like, why? Why would you even need it? It's the most pointless thing ever. Right, which one is CPU fan? CPU AO. So the grey one is the CPU fan. It is in a little bit of a fiddly location, but then you wouldn't normally have a power supply slam right above it, would you? There you go.
Okay.
And another £5 on the ASUS tax. To be honest with you, I've got to the point now where I don't really pay much ASUS tax because most of the stuff I get off our eBay Discord bot. So it's kind of like tax exempt almost. Talking of taxes, it is tax time. I know, Kath, I got my hands full.
Use your nose.
Excuse me, nose. So again, happy Easter to everybody who's celebrating
Tell them what you've got me.
baby Jesus doing his stuff at Easter. What did I get? Oh, I ain't got you nothing. We got so much chocolate and stuff here that I didn't bother getting her anything. Although I did give you some crusty pineapple rings. That's not code either. Would be quite funny as code, but no, it's not.
Now you've at them.
Now you've at them.
Yeah.
That's not my fault, is it?
Nice.
Augustus Gloop.
Very nice, isn't it, Bobby?
Right, I think that is all I need because we don't need a graphics card because we can use the integrated graphique. That's fine. I will need though, however, a board and mouse. A board of the keys. Let's move some of this funkery away. What else? So I need a wireless USB keyboard and mouse, which we can do that quite easily. There is actually a SATA hard drive behind here, and I have no idea what's on it. So we'll stick that into one of these ports. We'll also need our memtest disk from last week. That will be very useful if I can remember which one it's on. Mem test, there we go. Got my mem test disc. I know it's mem test because it says mem test.
Oh, say a little bit of news from this morning.
Bit of news.
Got a new cat, didn't we?
Yeah, we had a new cat this morning. And it wasn't intentional, just that it appeared. I came down this morning about, was it about 6 o'clock?
Yeah, Flame was howling, wasn't he?
I woke up at 5 for a piss, because it's starting to get light about that sort of time now here in the UK. So I went up, had a pee, went back to bed. Then about 6 o'clock I could hear this crazy cat noise. And I was like, what the flipping heck's that? So Kath's like, started to go downstairs. And she's like, oh, can you go down because I'm scared? It's like, oh, all right, go, whatever. So I went downstairs in my pants and yeah, go towards the kitchen. And there is, no, and there's this weird grey cat, which I've never seen before, which I didn't realise we owned, in our kitchen, like about to eat the food on the floor. It's like, oh, okay then. So he was trying to get out the cat flap, but then stopped. So I was like, oh, I better go and get the keys for the door so I can unlock it. So I went to get the keys and I come back and he'd already gone out the cat flap. But yeah, it's absolutely pandemonium here about 6 o'clock in the morning. Oh dear.
But Flame must still be the man of the house because he was the one in charge of it, wasn't he? You took control, didn't you, Flame?
Oh, arm. Lead Farmer says all in one USB. No, it's I've only got, it's just a mem test on there. I should have created an all-in-one one actually, but I failed to do so. Right, so I'm going to want a USB cable. Oh, I know what I need again. Power cable. What did I do about the power cable situation last week? Can anyone remember? And if so, where did I put it? Did I leave it in the? Did I put it back in the other room after the stream? I think I probably did. Hey ho. Okie dokie.
You didn't say baby Jesus for Easter, did you?
Yeah, baby Jesus. Is that what happened? Wasn't it?
That's Christmas.
No, baby Jesus is Easter as well, isn't he?
Was he born twice?
Well, no, he wasn't born, but he was still baby Jesus because he's only like 3 months old at Easter after being born at Christmas.
This Easter's years later, isn't it?
Yes. I love that you have to ask. What a beaut. Right, I need a power cable, so I'm going to go in the other room. Hello, Otis. You okay? Don't be scared. Oh.
What are you doing?
Me?
Yeah.
Oats. Oh, crazy Otis cat. He's running away. Right, I'm going into the depths of the broom cupboard, i.e. the living room. And let's get a cable of power. Ooh, that's a nice long one. Oh, that one might be better. That's a little bit shorter. I have a couple which I have put to one side for testing. Hey, Maisie. Yeah, I've got another cable which I use for... Whoa, what's going on? I come in and it's all bloody pandemonium. Here, pandemoniums. Who's that from? Rasher. Thank you, Rasher. 20 euros. God bless you, sir. That is now, we're down to £200 and 80 pence for the RAM recovery fund. Someone ran off my wallet the other day after I chased after them. Certainly gave me a run for my money. Ba-bum! Ooh, is that cable going to be long enough? Now that I've actually gone and got it. He's only gone and got it. Right, let's have a look. Ooh. Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, I need to move this shit down there, don't I? One day. One day in... I know. That's the trouble with a tech channel. It's basically all... It's all shit. it's all a basic, like, total clusterfuck. No, that's not the word. It is basically all...
You say basically so much.
Basically. It is all
Basically.
a what's the word I'm looking for?
Basically.
Oh, there's the monitor again. Oh, came back on that time. Fucking A. It is very much just a full rotation all the time. So you kind of, as soon as you finish one project, you're basically onto another.
Basically.
And yeah, basically. Calf. Right. Viali's coming with £2.
Stop.
Oh, that monitor's turned off again.
Bobby, stop.
Why does the monitor turn off now? What if the power, is the power cable loose or anything on there?
Oh, it's hot.
I think that monitor might be on the blink.
It did come out of skip, didn't it?
I did rescue it from a skip.
Right.
Thank you for your £2, Viali.
Every little helps.
Every little helps. Do 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 do.
That's a surprise.
Oh yeah, that's the price. Every little helps. Every little helps. Who's every little helps? That Tesco's.
Tesco.
Right then. Let's go to Sesame Street. No, let's not go to Sesame Street. Let's go to. We have a HDMI input window. There we go. And there is your host, me. And let's turn this bad boy on. Oh, I haven't done the doodah. Andy Archer's little doodah. If I can remember which way that one goes. I should put a little thing on here saying showing which way it goes. But it don't matter, does it? It don't matter.
Rick H came home yesterday to find someone had stolen his dishwasher.
What?
He didn't know his wife was having an affair.
You bad, bad person. Right, 3, 2, 1. We have some illumination. I suppose I should be tapping the delete key. We've got some RGB on the RAM. The RAM looks alright.
Can't see it 'cause something's in the way.
Oh, I'm on it. There we go. Actually, that RAM looks pretty sick. Oh, I can't believe I said that. Why would I say that? Hey, we have an output. Woo! Right, press Y to reset the FTPM. Done. And there's no OS installed, so it is going to go to the BIOS anyway, so I don't need to press anything now. Yeah, the RAM looks pretty good. You would hope it would. 200 and, well, for now, what we at? I don't know. Where did we get to? What was our tally on the RAM cost now? I think it's better than it was. So the RAM has been detected. Good, 32 gigabytes. Excellent. Press F1 to run setup. So that is going to be function and F1 on this keyboard, I think. Maybe not. Maybe it's just going to be F1. F1 will do. $3 billion. 180.20. You sure, Dutch Jan? Are you sure? I think it's more than that. We started out, the RAM cost me 225? I have to find out. Have a quick gander at the SPD in the BIOS. Let's do that then. So that is going to be in advanced mode. Advanced. And it is in... where is it? Onboard devices. I can never remember where this stuff is. Actually, let's try AI Tweaker. Memory DRAM timing control. I think it's in there. Right. So that is that a 4.0 or is that a 4.6? That looks like a 4.0 to me. Yeah, that's a 4.0. And that's at the top. So it's, yeah, it is CL40 it looks like. Is that right? Am I incorrect or am I correct? CL40, yay! Do the happy dance. CL40 is much more manageable.
Glenn says, have a quick gander at the SPD in bio, but I might have already done it.
Turn on Expo. XMP. Right, let's go back to the top of AI Tweaker. Go back a level. And let's look for... God, it's been a while. Where it actually is Expo? Sure it's in here.
Hello, Candy. I'm okay, thank you.
Where am I looking? No. No. Am I being stupid? Right, let's do the search. Expo. Of course, they don't call it Expo, do they? They call it something else, don't they? AXMP. XMP. No search for XMP, right. Oh, flipping hell. A dash. Oh, why is it not typing in there? Come on. Right, now it's typing in there.
Come on, David.
A dash XMP.
You been a good boy?
What the hell? Right, DOCP, go to main. Thank you. Let's go to main. That makes a lot of sense. Right, main. No, it's not in there. Where is... Let's go back to easy mode. XMP, oh, there it is. Expo, there we go. Oh, we've only got enabled or not enabled. Oh, so that is the Expo speed. Oh, why is that saying 5640? Ah, so that's actually going to make it slower. What the actual hell? Hey, Mr. Holzman.
Did you see what he said?
No, I didn't. Back to easy mode, homepage. Got it. DOCP, go to main. Thank you, everybody. Hello, Mr. Holzman. And thank you, Mark Gaines. Much appreciated for your £20 for the RAM recuperation fund. I'm actually going to have to get a tally on the go, aren't I? To see where we are. Oh, it would help if I used the one mouse. Yeah. Right, actually, Kath, could you do me a massive favour? Could you have a look in eBay and see how much I actually paid for that RAM, so it's not completely wrong? I'm going to get my whiteboard. Other colour boards are available.
Oh, Dave.
And
We've got a cat on the desk.
let's get, which is the most visible colour? Let's go for red. It's an AMD build, so let's go for red. Save and reboot speed, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. We should definitely do that. Save and exit.
Oh look, as long as I don't have to use my phone for any codes, I'm not bothering with sites that do that anymore.
Right, so this is the RAM Recoup Fund. That's the top one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
23942.
It wasn't that much. There was discount on it, wasn't there? Have a look at the actual sale price. It wasn't that much, was it, honestly? I think I paid more than a third.
How do you know?
Invoice?
Where's invoice?
Or show sell, or...
View order details.
Yeah.
23942.
Oh my god, it's worse than I thought. So it's £239 and 42 pence was our starting price. I can't believe I spent that much money on this shitbox RAM. Oh, bless you, O'Reilly. Come to our rescue.
Is there more? Sorry, can't be
Thank you very much. It's 115 on AliExpress. Yeah, that's for 16 gigs. So, yeah, I didn't save much, did I? Actually, no, I spent more. Crapola.
But you could have got it new for less.
Well, now you could. Is it the same spec? Please tell me it's the white RGB and the same. Oh, I feel bad.
Oh, that's all my Easter eggs gone.
Jamie says, I ordered this on the 20th of March, 2 by Corsair Vengeance for $289 including. Oh, God. Right, is it? Oh, sorry, it's reboot. Oh, actually, it's gone into that. Let's do that while I work out how much the recoup fund has got. So, who did we have earlier on?
Yes, right, Flame.
So I can work this out properly. I think Glenn was the first in, wasn't he?
Right, you okay? Just gonna put you down.
So Glenn,
Too much going on.
420. Oh, wrong mouse. Rasher, €20.
Are you on like a little screen? You are, aren't you?
I am at the moment, yeah. Let's go back to here, so
God's
you'll see that in a
sake.
minute. So Rasher, €20. And we've got Viali
What are you doing? Just going round in circles, folks.
with £2. Thank you, sir. Then we had...
Mark Gaines.
We have Mark Gaines. No, yeah, Mark Gaines with £20. You'd think in the days of technology I should have this on screen in a fully digitized board that flashes lights and all
But
sorts.
you got pay.
But you got to pay for AI. And there is a rally with £20 also. Rally. Bless you. 239. So that is the that's where we're at the moment. Oh dear. Right. How is the oh, it's not on that screen now, is it? Oh, I can't do it from that one. Can I do it from that one? HDMI input? Yes, that does work. Excellent. That looks like it's going to pass. By the looks of things, it's still on pass 1, but it hasn't come up with an absolute ton of errors to begin with. And does it show the speeds there? It doesn't, does it? It just shows the frequency, not the actual...
€20 is
Doodles.
£17.46.
Thank you very much. £17.46. I'll put an equals by the side of it.
And then some lead farmer put, don't forget YouTube fees.
Yeah.
Third off. And back.
Shit. Yeah. YouTube fees and the UK taxman. It's all right. It's all good. We're not going to be on the door of destitution quite yet.
Oh, Dave's on his
And there's
back.
our portier. Thank you, sir. Our portier is coming in with €11. Thank you very much.
Ask Siri how much.
Hey Siri. What is €11 in UK pounds?
€11 is £9.60.
£9.60. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Look, send it to her.
Yeah, I was saying thank you to our portier and also Kath. Alpha Dingo says Juhor uses Micron. Excellent. Well, that's to use one of them, I suppose. It's good that it's using one of the top 3, I guess. We'll see. Right, let's do a restart. And we'll go into La BIOS. We'll see what it's recognising now. Arsenal are out of the FA Cup. Ha 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 ha, says Viali. Hey, up the arse.
Bloody demonetized saying that.
Yeah, there goes my demonetization. It's the chips AI didn't want. Thank you. No, you're a whore. Exactly. Right, so, yeah. Why is it now... I don't understand why turning on Expo would actually make the CL latency higher.
It's the chips AI didn't want.
Yeah. Right, so AI tweaker. What can we do about the memory timings? DDR4 timing control. So no, that's gone to 4. So I'm pretty sure that. Whoa! Thank you, Rory. Get wrecked.
He's oblivious.
I know.
Flashing in the dark, you still don't know.
I was going to put Rory. So I think. Unless somebody wants to put some more money into the fund so we can buy some new pens.
Ah, there's another.
Oh, Oh, and there's another. 199, blimey. Go on, Rory. I'm running out of board. I'm going to have to get another board in a minute.
You'll have to write on your head.
Without Expo, it was the CL 4000. Was it 4800? Thank you very much. Where's... Oh, wrong mouse. I must do that. Wrong mouse. Did they come up on the screen? No. So I don't think super stickers come up on the screen, do they? For some, oh, they won't on that screen. No, that's on me. Because I have live chat at the bottom. Oh, dear. Let's move that up to the top. There we go. Thanks, Rory. Hey, what's that he's got there? Is he playing the guitar? I know, he's holding a fish. Close. It's one of them fish guitars. Thank you very much. And what's the get wrecked? Get wrecked. Offerdingo says 46 is okay for 56. Yeah, it's not horrible, is it? Glenn says, I wouldn't touch anything until you run some bass lines. Yeah, that is true. That is true.
4 or 6 string fish.
I think it's a bass fish. Or a bass. See what I did there? It's a bass fish. Viali says, it's blowing a gale here now. I think it sounds... Well, I don't know. I can't really tell because the power supply fan is blowing a freaking gale of its own. But it actually... outside seems very calm. Does it seem calm out there to you?
Yeah.
Because normally when it's windy, our fireplace, the chimney, gets like a draft, it whistles.
Chimney.
Chimney. Chimney? Chimaroo. Just leave me alone. Chimney. Chimney. Right. Do something useful. Get yourself a calculator.
I've got a calculator.
Right.
Calculator on my keyboard.
Let's...
I don't waste money on my keyboard. Go on.
What else can I try on here? No, I'm not going to try anything.
What are we doing? Calculator.
Working out right. So £239.42 minus £4.20 minus £17.46 minus £2 minus £20 minus £20 minus £9.60. Oh, hey Siri. What is 11.99 in euros into pounds UK?
Okay, I found this on the web for what is 1,199
Oh
euros
shit.
into pounds.
Siri,
Check.
Siri, you listening?
I respect your privacy and only listen when you're talking to me.
I'm talking.
About Apple's approach to privacy at apple.com.
Siri. Hello. Siri, hello. Hello, Siri.
Hey Siri.
Hey Siri.
What is 11.99 euros in UK pounds?
Thanks, Kath.
Okay, I found this on the web for what is €11.99 in UK pounds.
It's like just read it out to me. Don't.
Oh, I've only got a cookies. I can't use that one. I ain't got Google on my phone, so it won't let me click on the links.
Oh dear. Tony Beckett's phone answered. What's the answer? Because we still don't bloody know.
10.45 Pommy pounds.
10.45 and Grumpy Old David says 10.46. I'll go with. Let's go with 10.47.
47, but
47. Sorry. Yeah, let's go with 10.46
I've lost my
because we're in the middle then.
Oh, what? It's done some bloody stupid.
Oh,
Fucked it right up now. So
we got to start again.
yeah.
Oh, calf. Right, £239.42 minus £4.20 minus £17.46 minus 2 minus 40 minus £9.60 minus £10.46.
155.34.
155.34. That's better. Even though the taxman and Google are going to take someone out, that'll do for now. Thank you all so much. You're very, very kind. Are you sure that's right?
Got enough run to work out.
Oh, God, Rory. Oh, God, what's a euro in pounds? That's got to be about 75p? I don't know. Thank you, dude, Rory. Hey, Siri. What is €1 in UK pounds?
€1 is 87 pence.
Right, say 86 then, Kath. Oh, I got to write it down. 86 pence. You bugger.
Oh,
So what's that now?
154.48.
154.48. There we go. I need a bigger board. Or hopefully that'll be it. Ah, dear. Right then. Where are we at? Right, I think it works. The RAM works, doesn't
We
it?
got everyone's. See, my Siri doesn't answer to your voice,
Everyone else's Siri's doing it. I know.
and yours doesn't answer to my voice, does it?
Right. What else can I test? There's not really anything else I can test, is there? It works. I think we're pretty happy to say that that works.
Can you stop the fan with your finger?
Oh, yeah. It's not spinning very fast, actually. Not spinning at all
Does it
now.
grate cheese?
€1 equals 1 tablespoon of Brent crude. Yeah, probably not far off that, is it? I'm going to do something a bit crazy.
Or
I'm just going to change that to 40.
oh, that's not even crazy.
All right.
Putting cheese on a bloody case is crazy.
It's 40, 45. I'm going to do 40, 40, 40, 80. And,
Bang!
yeah, it
Oh,
won't,
sorry, Flame.
it won't be a bang. I'll do exit,
Flamey.
save changes, and reset. I'll do that, and if I quickly whip out my drive, so it doesn't boot into it, let's see if it loads. I reckon it will. Mushroom Cloud. There's something wrong with this drive. It doesn't retract properly.
Babe.
It's a bit knackered. Error, 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 error. The flames will be, from the dims will be brighter than the LEDs. What's that?
Dave on the floor.
Oh yeah. Hiding.
Under flame.
That's worked. Yay. Happy days. And actually that CPU's running nice and cool as well. Rory says, where's my stain? What stain? From playing your bass? Let me whip out the hard drive. I'm getting confused. What's going on? The date and time on the clock are also very accurate, I see. What time are they? I've not even looked. Oh yeah, Sunday. That's a little bit ahead, isn't it? That must be... Most of these come out with either the UK time, US time, or like some China time, I guess. Depending, well, Taiwan, I suppose, Taiwanese. What's the difference in time zone between kind of somewhere in the US and Taiwan? Is it similar?
Somewhere in the US.
Like, I know the US has loads of time zones. But is there any which are like close to Taiwan? I don't even know where Taiwan is. That's terrible, isn't it? If you said to me, point to Taiwan on a map, I wouldn't be able to. I'd probably end up
Well, you know
pointing
the
it
answer to that.
like Ireland or something.
You know the answer to that? Go down the chip shop and study that map while you're
Oh,
ordering
yeah,
fish
that's
and
true,
chips
yeah.
every... You need to go there more often.
Taiwan is close to Aussie time. Okay. Yeah, where is Taiwan? Is it... Oh, actually, I'm not even going to say because I don't want to sound more stupid. Between China and Japan. Okay, and Japan is opposite America? Kind of?
XMP still on?
XMP is on still. Yes, apparently. BIOS version, actually, BIOS version is 3057. Can someone tell me when that BIOS was from? Because it doesn't say on there. Well, I want to get a rough idea of roughly when this board was made. I'm guessing it's relatively new because it says 9000 series ready on the box there. So it can't be that old, can it? Well, the 9000 series has been around a little while now, hasn't it? Taiwan is easy in the opposite side of the planet from the UK. Yeah, but that doesn't help me because I always see maps flat. So, yeah, that... I never look at the world as a globe because I don't have one. So, yeah. I see it from the flat version. Dom, how you doing, Dom? Pause the stream for 1 hour. What's happening? Boss update or a tour? O'Reilly says the world is flat. Well, it is on one of those maps because they don't do 3D printed versions of those yet.
The moon is a Earth mirror.
A mirror.
Mirror.
It's 5:22 in Taiwan, so that clock is not a million miles off. Our Portiers come in with a €3, sorry.
You've got to work it out again.
Oh, I got to work out again. Gosh. €3.
Right.
Hey Siri, what is €3 in UK pounds?
€3 is £2 and 62 pence.
Hey Siri. Hey Siri. What is 154.48 minus 262?
150,448 minus 262 is 150,186.
151.86.
Yep, got it. Thank you. Thank you. Ah, bollocks here. Right. 16 goats divided by 3 sacks of corn and a potato. The last one BIOS is 3842. And what have we got? We got 3058, so that's quite a far off, isn't it, I guess? Shit. Okay. I think that works. Happy days. Right, let's go back to the main screen, I think. Because I don't think there's much more we can do in there. We're back. We're back. Hey. There we go. Why is it whenever we do these streams, my desk always ends up looking like an absolute shithole?
It looks the same every night.
It doesn't.
It's got chocolate all over it. Usually.
Normally it's got cats and chocolate all over it. Let's be fair. Yeah, I'm very happy. I think that, well, from what I can tell from initial first blush, is that this works. And I gotta say, it does look very nice. The RGB, can I lift that out there without damaging anything? Yeah. I like the RGB on the side there. That's quite a nice touch. And the RGB RAM, you can probably see a little bit better now. Or maybe you can, I don't know. But it looks quite nice. And it's absolutely stone cold, which you kind of would expect. But
Why don't you go and come dine with me?
come dine with me, I don't want to go on there. Full of,
You said all that like
full of bloody weirdos.
you said all that like they would say on there. It filled me with quite liking
The
this.
stupid cooler is blocking it all. Yes, it is. There is a bright board. Well, that's the thing. The idea with this is, because it's going to go into a white case, it's a fish tank style case. So the idea is that it's very bright, lots and lots of lighting, and that will hopefully in some way detract from the fact that there's a massive black GPU in the middle of what is otherwise almost entirely white. But we've got a bit of black on the motherboard as well. So I think it's going to pull in together. I do hate it, the fact that we've got the option now for themed builds, like color-wise. In the old days, it was kind of cool because cases were like just various different... Oh yeah, please. They were various beiges, weren't they? Realistically, that was it. It was like beige or beige. What colour beige do you want your PC? Or smoky beige? Fresh beige?
Beige with the buttons a different colour beige.
Hmm. Mm. Ugh. That's enough of that. Rasher says my MSI Edge TI Wi-Fi 870E Dragon logo only lights up half the times. It's not lit now. Weird. That is weird. What software are you using to control your lighting? Or are you not? Mystic Light can sometimes have a bit of a mind of its own, but you can just do like select all, and it will just make sure that all the headers on the motherboard are doing the same thing, including that LED. And I did find out something actually today, very, well, somewhat interesting. PCI Express bifurcation. So my computer behind me, this one here, has a 4080, RTX 4080, and is on an X670E, I think. Can't remember now. It's an X670. It's the X670 Gaming Plus. So Gen 5 top slot, Gen 4 GPU slot, I think. It is one of the very early X670 motherboards. And I was doing some testing and I was looking at the graphics card speed, and it was reporting as being PCI Express Gen 4 times 8, but running at 16 gigabits per second. And I was thinking to myself, well, yeah, 16 gigabits per second, that makes sense. But why is it doing 16 gigabits per second, but only PCI Express Gen 4 times 8? Because it says 16X card. And I assumed that because this was an X670 or X670E chipset, that it would have enough bandwidth to be able to use, because I've got a capture card in the very bottom slot, which is a PCI Express Gen 2x4, I think it needs as a minimum, but it definitely needs times 4 lanes. So I think what's happened is the way this chipset is laid out or designed, the bottom slot shares with the top slot, which is a real pain in the ass because I can't actually put the capture card any higher up because it's a 3-slot card and it's blocking the other slots. So yeah, it's doing lane sharing, as Lead Farmer has just said there. But bizarrely, whenever I've been doing benchmarks, the benchmarks have always been basically almost exactly the same as what the expected values should have been. So yeah, it's a strange one. I don't think it's worth me changing out the actual motherboard for, but it's just one of those interesting things that made me panic, thinking, oh god, why is it showing that when it should be showing a faster speed? Zero Defect says, I'll swap you for a 5060. That might be better for my purposes. The Ford, that is ridiculous overkill. I do need to take it out really and actually make use of it elsewhere. But graphics cards with how they are at the moment. Dave Aitken, if he's, I'm not sure if he's still listening, maybe not. He bought a very good deal RTX 5060 Ti, but the 8 gig version is the MSI version. I think it's the Ventus X2 OC, and I kind of wanted to buy it and put it in there because this PC is literally just for streaming, and a 5060 Ti is way more than I need for streaming, and it would be perfect in there. But he came around the other day and collected the stuff that he had left here, and I didn't mention it at the time. He said he's going to put it for sale in the Discord, so I don't know how much he wanted for it. I don't really want to spend much on it because I don't really need it, but I've still got the Intel Arc B580. B580? Yeah, B580. I've still got that in the box, and I could just put that in there, which I might end up doing. But I kind of like it because it's the Founders Edition. I might just keep it as it is, as a one of those things that you keep because it's like pretty cool and valuable, or could be valuable one day. Probably won't be. You'll probably find that Intel B580s will be worth like 50 quid in a couple of years' time, if that. But it's the 12 gigs of RAM, isn't it? 12 gigs of RAM makes a difference on any GPU these days. And I have actually, for this build, when I put this together in the thermal take case, which I will be doing a video on, I'll do the full build video on that as well. I have got this graphics card to go in. So this is a, I think this is 67, or is this a 76? I think it's a 7600 XT, if I remember rightly. Actually, where's the magnifying glass of truth? Yeah, 7600 XT gaming, 16 gig. So I think that's going to be a very nice card to pair with this system, with probably like the Ryzen 7700 or maybe a 9600X. That would be a really nice foundation for a gaming PC, I think. And because again it's black, got little elements of black on the motherboard as well, so it kind of ties in a little bit. And these are actually still really good cards, the 7600 XT. I was surprised actually how well it can do. If you have your kind of expectations tempered somewhat, obviously it makes up in VRAM for what it loses in power. So if you're reducing maybe your frame rate, that gives you the option to bump up your fidelity. So for kind of not action games, for like story-based games, these are fantastic cards because you can crank up the visual fidelity and you can still run those quite happily at kind of 60 to 100 FPS. But if you want to play like sweaty, twitchy gaming stuff, generally you whack that down anyway, so you don't really have it on high settings. So again, these kinds of cards, 16 gigs of RAM makes it a little bit future-proof. Loads of outputs as you'd expect. So I think this one's got, yeah, 2 HDMI and 2 DisplayPort. So that's pretty cool. I don't know about you, but do you miss graphics cards that always have 2 HDMIs? I know HDMI costs more to implement, but I think it's nice to have 2 HDMIs on a GPU. Especially for things like the wake timing, which we were talking about at the beginning of the stream with that tool. Because if you've got both HDMI, more times than not, they're going to wake at the same time, regardless of the type of monitor. But it's when you have one DisplayPort and one HDMI that the timings throw out of sync, because DisplayPort works more like plug and play, like USB, whereas HDMI is more like VGA in that respect. So yeah, it's bizarre. I know HDMI is a digital format, so is DisplayPort, but DisplayPort works like plug and play to Windows. It appears like a plug and play peripheral rather than a display, if that makes sense. I've been finding out all kinds of weird shit about displays over the last week or so, trying to find out what's going on with my my monitors. What's better, HDMI or DisplayPort? Well, there's arguments for and against both. DisplayPort arguably is more prevalent on PC monitors. With HDMI, obviously you've got the option then of outputting to a TV screen or a portable monitor, a lot easier. DisplayPort generally tends to be, generationally, DisplayPort generally tends to be the faster and more robust standard. More than times than not, they'll reach higher higher bandwidth, so higher resolution or higher refresh. DisplayPort is essentially the better of the two, but HDMI is more compatible. Yeah, Lead Farmer says HDMI, if you want to use an HDMI port on a device, there is HDMI royalty fee, which has to be paid. If you're using DisplayPort, that is an open source kind of standard. So you can put in as many DisplayPorts as you want, and it essentially doesn't cost you any royalties or anything. Yeah, DisplayPort can also be converted to physically to HDMI, but the device will still appear, or Windows will still think it's a DisplayPort device, even if you do convert it to an HDMI cable. And again, that is another area where problems can arise, because the conversion to DisplayPort to HDMI is kind of a direct comparison, but it's kind of not at the same time, because of the way DisplayPort appears to Windows as a peripheral device. It's quite complicated. Alpha Dingo says Linux now has 120 Hz HDMI without the royalty. I don't understand that. The royalty is paid by the royalty is paid for using the actual port, so the software doesn't make a difference. I probably didn't explain that particularly well, but to implement the port, if you use an HDMI port, physical port, you have to pay a license to use it effectively. Brasher says, Kath, do you press Mike's chin dimple to stop him talking? Yeah, it's like a pause button.
Oh God, I wish.
Did you hear that? She's in the kitchen, but she said, oh, your God, I wish. Cheeky bastard.
Although, to be fair, you've probably got all those words to get out that you've been sat in your little coma for the last week, and now you can't stop,
Yeah.
to be fair. Because it has been like a soundproof booth I've been in all week.
I've been really, really engrossed. It's pissing though now.
It's hammering. I wondered what all that noise was when I was washing
Is all the
up.
cats come in now?
They've not come in now, they've been in all night.
Thought Flame went out just now.
No, he just came
Okay.
off the chair to eat some food.
Okay. I didn't realise that. So, what, HDMI, you couldn't do 120 Hz in Linux? Is that what is going on? Zero Defect says, Mike, you now owe HDMI royalties for your app. No. I've not implemented any physical ports in my software, so I don't need to do it. Alvin says, yes, we were limited to 4K 60 Hz. Oh, really? I never knew that. So why do people always say that Linux is so great for gaming then, if you're limited on HDMI to 4K 60? What's the 1080p and 1440p limited to? 60 still? Or is it now, what you're saying is, you can now do 4K 160 on HDMI? Or 120, sorry. Did I say 120? Yeah. 4K 120, is that what has now been added? Or is possible? Oh, just 4K was limited. Okay. David Underhill says, anyone using Linux deserves restrictions. That is how to start a fight. Lead Farmer says, Adam IT Graham is doing a Linux test lately. I know the outcome of it already. And he's gone back to Windows. And the reason I haven't done a Linux video, or even bothered with it, is because I know I won't stick with it. I'm not going to bother wasting my time testing out an operating system which I know I won't stick with. There's absolutely no point. Because the outcome, I know the outcome already. I won't stick with Linux. I'm way, way, way too embedded in the Windows ecosystem to have any real, like, I've tried to get into Mac, and Mac is arguably like the most plug-and-play operating system ever built. And even still with some things like that, it still frustrates me that things don't work as in I expect them to in Windows. So to go into Linux where there's like hundreds if not thousands of different versions of the OS, all of them working in slightly different ways, that's just going to be an absolute head scrambler for me. And I don't have the time or really the inclination. I think Windows is fine. I genuinely do. I use Windows. I have used Windows since like Windows 3 point whatever it was. And yes, there's elements of it which I don't like, and there's things that don't work. Hence why I've made this little app for the monitors. But ultimately, it's widely regarded as being the default operating system of desktop computers, and I can't see that changing. Even if they integrate AI up the wazoo, it will still have an extremely large share of the market, and like the lion's share of the market. Now, when it comes to phones, obviously it's a different thing altogether. Servers, that sort of stuff is different kettle of fish. But when it comes to actual desktop computing, i.e. computers like that you can take apart and build yourself and what have you, Windows will always, always dominate in that field. And I don't think it's ever going to change. No matter what happens, they could do anything, and Windows would still be the dominant operating system on the desktop. Offering says Windows is fine with Chris Titus app. I'm getting more and more comments and my own personal experience where I'm finding a lot of these debloating programs break Windows sometimes in quite fundamental ways. So the Chris Titus app, although it's extremely wide ranging in the things which are actually in it, and also the other products that it calls upon, I think the more that these debloating apps try to do, the actual worse it makes Windows. Because, like, if Microsoft themselves can't make a Windows update which reliably updates Windows and its components on a monthly basis, how in God's name is a creator such as Memory, Winhance, for example, Chris Titus, etc., etc., all those people, how can they potentially, or even possibly, be able to make sure that their application doesn't remove something which Windows is going to try and use in the next Windows update? Now that sort of thing cannot be blamed on Microsoft. If an operating system dies because you've previously stripped out some bloat which you didn't like using a script or a tool, then that's on you, and that's on the creator.
You won't ask for it to be on there in the first place.
I know, but that's if you agree or you use Windows, there are options to get rid
How
of.
can you use Windows without agreeing to it?
You can't. That's the choice.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
Use Windows or don't use Windows.
But you don't want all
but
that
the-
stuff on it, do you?
But the bloat isn't that bad. I think a lot of it is done by people like me, YouTubers trying to be click happy and like, oh my god, this bloat is terrible. When the reality is, yeah, it's annoying, but it's not like the end of the world. And you can quite...
It's like my phone, I've got a folder of unused stuff, and there's loads of stuff on the Apple phone that you can't
Yeah.
even get rid of.
Yeah,
That's just in a folder of unused because I don't want
but
it.
they've opened it up a bit more now, so you can get rid of it. And also, depending on where you live in the world, there are a lot of apps you can actually remove. So if you're in the EU, for example, you can remove basically almost all of the Microsoft bloatware just from going to add remove programs. So it's not as if, like, all of it, yes, it is installed as a default, but most of it you can remove legitimately via Windows processes. There are some things, like, again, there was one we did, WinSlop AI. That was a very, very small application which did a very good job of removing specific AI elements which were annoying. And I think that's perfect. When you get into these big, multifaceted applications like Winhance, like Chris Titus, I think they're too big and they're trying to cover too many bases. And that is when you get instability in Windows, because if you remove a foundational point that another piece of software needs or is going to be called upon, then the whole stack of cards falls down. And like I said, you cannot really blame Microsoft for... Well, you can to some extent. They should give us more flexibility to remove elements that we don't want. But again, that comes back to the thing of there are some elements that if you remove can break other parts of Windows. So they've got to tread a very careful line between making a system which is going to be somewhat stable 99% of the time, but also make it so that users can configure it reasonably with relative ease. Now, obviously, Apple have gone slightly more the other direction, where a lot of it is locked in and some of it you just cannot change or remove. Android has gone the opposite way and made it so that it's very much that you can kind of remake it however you see fit, very much like Linux, because they're essentially built on the same foundations. And that's what it comes down to. Like, I like using Windows. I know how Windows works pretty much. It's generally a relatively consistent look and feel. We won't talk about Windows 8. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty straightforward that most people, even if they've never used a computer before, you can kind of sit them in front of it and say, like, open up such and such, and they kind of get where you're coming from. It's quite easy to use, I think, really. But you're entitled to your own opinions. That's my opinion. That is all it is. Opinions are like buttholes. Everybody's got one. Well, unless you were born with some sort of defect. Jamie says Windows 98 SE and ME were great, plus Vista. Vista I didn't like. I liked the idea behind it, but the overhead that the graphical interface pushed upon the system was just too much, especially for the hardware level that was around at the time. Because I think it was a Windows Vista laptop or computer. To be Vista compliant had to be something like 2 gigs of RAM, but to enable the full Aero experience had to be something like 4 gigs of RAM. So there's loads of laptops and desktops going around with like 2 gigs of RAM trying to run Vista and just like struggling really badly. Alpha Dingo says Valve will change your mind. They won't. The thing is, Valve are a gaming eh?
You reverted back to Dingo again.
Yeah. Valve will never change my mind because Valve is a gaming company. They are not a computer company. Like if your sole thing in life is gaming, then you shouldn't really be using a PC anyway. Because a PC is a tool for doing all sorts of things. Yes, it plays games as well as many other things. But if gaming is your thing, then just get a console or get a Steam machine. Because essentially that's what it is. Steam machine is basically a console. Pretty much like a Steam Deck. It's a console, it's not a computer. It can be used as a computer to do some computy things, but not many. So if you use a computer for emails, for browsing the web, for creative purposes or whatever, then a Steam Deck ain't going to help you, or a Steam machine isn't going to help you.
Touchdown.
That's Jan. Question, I have too many PCs. Am I a hoarder now? Probably. I don't know. I haven't got that many. Well, I've probably got more PCs than I need, but I don't think I've actually. Well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 PCs I've got. For 4 people. It's a bit much, isn't it? Some of those are mini PCs, so...
Hoarding's a constellation. It's to do with kidneys, I think.
Dutch Jan's got 9. Yeah, no, you're fine. You're well within the realms of normal. Alpha Dingo says, do you have a Steam Deck?
It's Alpha Indigo.
Alpha Indigo, sorry. Do you have a Steam Deck? No, I have had some hands-on experience with it, but I don't have a Steam Deck. Rick says I have 6 plus a laptop. Yeah, in terms of desktop PCs, I've got Calf's, mine, my Mac, my Stream PC, George's computer, his main computer, he's got a spare computer, and Angel's got a computer, so that's 7. Then I've got 2 mini PCs under the desk in a box, and 1 laptop.
2023 or
Yeah.
something.
Oh, actually, no, I've got the one in the front room as well, the media PC. So,
Lebel.
11, by patricklabelle.com.
I don't think there is a really email.
So, yeah, I've probably got more than I need. I've got enough parts to build a couple more PCs as well. But that is kind of my job type thing.
You can't go in behind there. Not behind there.
David Under's got 2 AM5, 2 AM4, I guess that's going to be. 1 laptop, 1 HP Pentium laptop, a Raspberry Pi. Raspberry Pi 400 desktop, that's pretty cool. That's not excessive, no, that's fine. Viali's got 1 PC now, but loads of parts. Dutch Jan says I have 8 and the wife one. Kath's only got 1 PC.
That's 1 too many.
But she has multiple phones. She uses 2 phones all day. And it's not even a burner. It's just basically both her phones with essentially the same apps on. Oh, and your iPad. Technically that's a computer, I suppose.
But my iPad's just to do my course on.
Yeah.
And
Mark Berry's got 3. One of them has got the entire Haynes manuals for the K11 micro on it. That's all he uses it for.
What's that song?
What song?
KLF.
KLF? 3 a.m. Is it 3 a.m.? 3 a.m. Eternal?
Might be. What did you say?
It's
that
3
sounded-
a.m. Yeah, Eternal.
3
K11.
I don't know, you said something.
We need the Linux challenge for Mike. There's no point. Honestly, I'd hate it.
Linux challenge is just the Icebox challenge by
Yeah.
the CIA.
Cav said this recently, and I believe it actually. Do you remember there's the Ice Bucket Challenge? Ages and ages ago. Now that was actually started off, believe it or not, by the CIA to see if people would do what other people told them to do, even if it was stupid. Now they said it was for a good cause, which clearly it was, and they did raise money for awareness, etc., etc., etc. That's by the by. But it was originally started, much like Facebook, by the CIA to garner information or to see how compliant people would actually be. And I think that is what's happening with Linux. Because a couple of influencers are now doing the Linux challenge, it's kind of like, oh, let's do the Linux challenge because they've done it, so I should do it now. And yeah, homie, don't play that. I'm not doing it.
What did you say? You mean not play that?
Homie, don't play that. No, not doing it.
Funny.
KLF. Boo, boo, boo.
But what did you say that sounded like it?
I'm not sure. Viali says, I tried Linux on a laptop, pile of shite.
Oh, Poppy, you're making me so nervous. Why do you need to... You don't want to go out.
Jamie says, wow, it's like a monsoon outside.
It is horrible.
It is very, very windy now. I know I said earlier it was quite calm, but now it is... I wish I could take that camera off the tripod and go into the garden
Come on, go.
and show you what it's like. It is horrendous.
Go on then. Come, Poppy, you're not doing in and out. 'Cause I can't
Rasher says, 2 behind you also. Yeah, I included those. John says, I love Linux. I don't understand the hate. There's no hate. Genuinely, there's no hate. I don't hate Linux because I don't hate any operating system. I think they all are valid in what they do. But what I do dislike is the fact that people say that Linux is better than Windows or should be more used than Windows. And this, like I said, the simple thing is, it doesn't do what Windows can do yet. It may well be very close, but it isn't there yet. Dom sent 5 Mics in a Box and reviews on how to gift memberships. Thank you very much, Dom. I'll get the right mouse one of these days. My keyboard gone asleep? Yes. So we have got Firestorm X received a gift membership. Astralworks S4 Vigini, not sure it is. J. Christ Almighty! Can you have shorter names, please? Jimenez 3083 and AJ Psi 8682. There you go. Cheer some people up. Jesus Christ, yeah. That's got to be the worst selection of names yet. Thank you, though.
What's wrong, Bops?
Let's cheer some people up. Hopefully it did, yeah.
Ouch.
Oh yes, Samrab says technically should include the NAS in your PC list. Yes, I suppose in that respect, yes, my NAS technically is a PC. That should be in there. Rick says, yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with that. The best operating system is the one that works best for you. 100%. Or that works best for your environment. So if you are a business, the best operating system for your business is the best operating system for your business.
Like Chris Stiff's PC.
Yeah. Yeah. Our friend Chris Stiff, who dropped a PC in for us to repair on that retro PC repair we did with his Pentium 3 or Pentium, I think it's a Pentium 3 450 or 500. Like a Pentium 3 500 is what, from 1999, 98, something like that. And he's still going strong in his business to just basically be a print server for his plotters and stuff. So, yeah, and that's just running Windows 98, I think it was. Was it 95? 98, wasn't it?
Nothing else would work. The would work.
Yeah.
The software with it, so you can't even
So, yeah.
upgrade.
Alpha Indigo says Linux is the best operating system for me. That's fine. Again, you've done the right thing there and you've added the caveat at the end. for me. A lot of people don't bother doing that, and they just say Linux is the best, or Linux is better, or whatever, or Windows is better. They have their pros and cons.
I could probably get away with it because I don't play games, and I just...
Yeah, Kath could get away with Linux easily, and could probably get away with Mac easily as well. Mac probably more so because you use an iPhone and an iPad, so it would have that natural progression.
Yeah, but I don't like things being connected to each other. So I
No.
don't have the same apps on my iPad as what I have on my phone because I don't use...
See, that is the thing as well. Like,
I don't like how it's all connected.
the Apple ecosystem, if you're in the Apple ecosystem and you are using an iPhone, an iPad, and a Mac OS, and a iWatch or something, the whole real nice thing about it is that all of those will work really seamlessly together. But Kath doesn't like that. She actually wants the exact opposite. She wants each one to be its own individual experience, which for some instances is cool, but also is a little bit annoys because of the way that software works these days. Because things like your browsers, etc., they expect you to sign in, and your log on to your computer expects you to sign in.
And then you're doing your shopping on your computer, and then it wants your code from a phone. And it's
Yeah.
like, I don't want to be on my phone.
It's all a bit
or
of
on
a
my
faff
computer.
sometimes.
I think I might have to just go to the normal shop and buy stuff now. It's getting me down.
Yeah. Mike full on tinfoil hat mode. The thing is, tinfoil hats now are becoming really trendy because it's always got to the point now where these conspiracy theories, they come true after a couple of years anyway now.
Conspiracy theory.
Quicker than anything
Made up
else.
to
Yeah.
Put somebody down.
406, or Glenn says, agreed, whichever works best for you. Yeah, totally. David Under says, do I include my 20 plus Linux controlled RPi single board computers that controls my smart house? I guess technically you do. They are computers after all. Dutch Jan says, my Windows 98 has an Athlon XP. Athlon XP chips are great. That was a really good era. Apart from when they cracked when you installed the CPU coolers because the dies were exposed.
On my back.
That was probably not great times back then. And that was weird as well because I think back then, correct me if I'm wrong, but back in the XP era, we didn't really go with any sort of fan control. We just let the motherboards do whatever they did. We never really did anything like sound in fan speeds, really, back then. Like, case fans started being controllable from, like, rotary dials and stuff on PCs, or maybe a little button. Like, Antec started doing those, where you had little high, medium, and low settings. In most fans, really, that was kind of all they did. The main processor fan, I don't even remember, like, setting up fan profiles on an older XP PC ever. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't.
I think the time when you got into fans was when you worked at Casualty and they had to be silent.
Yeah.
And you didn't care until then.
Yeah, I think that's true. And then once you start caring about PC noise, it's hard to not care about PC noise. You get kind of used to it. Ordinary Dude says the iPhone integration on my Mac is actually very handy. Yeah, I like the fact that if you're using a Mac and it's connected to your phone, or you're on the same account, that you get the pop-ups of your text messages in the corner, so you don't have to find your phone and see who the message was from or whatever. Now, I know you shouldn't anyway. You shouldn't be waiting on messages all the time. I'm guilty of it as much as anybody. But it's kind of nice that you can just be working away, and then you can just look up in the top corner and say, oh, yeah. And you don't have to kind of break off if you don't want to, if it's not important or whatever. I kind of like that. I think that's a nice touch.
I don't. I think that's just rude and interruptive.
It's an option, though. You don't have to turn it on. You can turn it off.
But why should it? So then it can pick up your location when you're out and stuff. And know where you are even though you're not at home.
Not really. Because your PC would probably be off, wouldn't it? So it wouldn't be sending in the data. It would only be the data on your phone. But yeah, I see what you're... Intel SpeedStep. Yes, that is it. Free speech is dead. How you doing? Hello. Jamie says, love my M4 Mac Mini. I do. I've got the Mac Mini just there. On top of the little dock there. The U-green dock. And I don't use that as much as I should do, to be fair. It is a really nice computer. and I do like the Mac OS. I think it is. It's not quite Windows, but it's very close. So for me, going from one to the other is quite seamless. Well, relatively. It took me ages to work out how to install programs. Some programs you actually have to physically drag into like the programs folder for them to actually install. That was a real confusion for me because I'd not used a Mac in years. And then when I got it, I was like, right, let's install Chrome because I use Chrome. And then it's like, right, how does this work? Where's my installer? And stuff like that. It was all very confusing.
I think a lot of my stuff is that you've always told me not to install stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't put anything on it, so it's kind of boring now, isn't it? Because I've got nothing on there apart from browsers.
Yeah. John David Sullivan, I'm impressed with the M5 MacBook Air. That sounds really nice. Crypto says Phone Link on Windows does the same thing for iOS and Android. I quite like that. Yeah, I think Phone Link is one of those things that I think the Apple ecosystem does it better, but yeah, Phone Link is trying to very much copy that. Alpha Indigo says I use Brave. I use Chrome as my primary browser, but I use Brave as my secondary, and then Edge as my tertiary.
Ow!
Who's that? Candy?
Kitten.
Hello, Candy Kitten. Come to say hello. You're Babs. Don't jump on there because that'll fall off. It's not a steady platform. Like cats understand that. We're gonna go for it. She's gonna go for a sleep behind my desk. Nice.
It's a nice cozy chair. Are you usually up in bed by now, Candy?
CPU fans sounded like jet engines back then. Yeah, they did. Those were the days. Right. I think we've exhausted the conversation right now. Unless there's any last minute questions, which we can jump on. But otherwise, I think we've pretty much wrapped things up. Alpha Indigo says, Apple is complete control, so it's very easy for them to provide a great experience apart from Apple Intelligence. Yes. If they figure out Apple Intelligence, which they might do, it seems, but yeah, if they can get that sorted out, I think they'll have a pretty good... It's bizarre that most of us don't really want AI integrated into our operating systems, yet people slate Apple for not having a good AI experience. You can't please all of the people all of the time. Yeah, I think we are pretty much done. So, thank you all for joining us on this Easter bank... Oh, go on. Cap's going to say something.
Give away some...
Oh, yeah. Let's give away some memberships because we've got some memberships to give away. So we'll quickly do that before we head off into the sunset. Although the chance of seeing any sunset with the weather as it is unlikely. So there you go. Cobain shotgun. Ooh, political. Bent 1228-9. Command Red. Command Dread. I'll just say that. What's with the names tonight?
Isn't it CMD
Isn't it?
Red Street?
Yeah, there you go, people. Have some memberships. So you get access to videos a little bit earlier than the rest of the world. Everyone gets to see them eventually anyway. But, yeah, there you go. Oh, look at that. My PC has been asleep there, over on that computer, for multiple time. Long time, basically the time of this stream, almost. Candy's just walked over my mouse. Both my monitors have waked up, or woken up rather. Waked.
Doing these funny little words like waked. What did you say earlier?
I'm really tired today.
You said something else.
Both monitors have, and Discord is still on my secondary monitor, not on the primary one. Oh dear, the small things. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed tonight's stream. If you have, don't forget, leave a like if you haven't already, obviously. And if you want to see more, please subscribe. Also, we've got our Discord links I'll put there. You can actually watch our content on Odyssey as well if you want to not be bombarded by advertisements. That's kind of happy. We like that. You can also use loaded.com. So this bank holiday weekend, if you're a little bit bored and thinking, it's pissing down outside, I need some new games to play, click on the link in the chat there for loaded.com. It's also in the video show notes as well. And if you head over to there, there's some fantastic deals over there at the moment on some of your favourite games across various platforms. It doesn't have to be PC. It can be on other platforms such as your consoles, etc, etc. So you are very welcome to use those links.
Share our videos.
Share the videos. Please share the videos. It really does help. And Dom, bless your heart, has put in 5 Mike's Unboxing reviews and how-to memberships as well. To Lucas Kirks, Colin Wasnick.
He's
Wow.
doing it so you've got these names.
Someone's doing it for the names, yeah. Volert Pro, Daniel Hategan, T-Banger. That sounds familiar, T-Banger. Rasher123 says, Senrab, you two, did you go offline for a while? I don't see where that come from, but still. Dom says, I'll do some clear up before we... I'll do some cheer up, sorry, not clear up. God, I told you, I'm coming to the end of it today. I'll do some cheer up before we leave as well. Thank you very much. David Arnold says, I'm shooting some 4K drone videos soon. Look forward to seeing those. Excellent stuff. So, yeah, I think that is... I do need a nap, you're absolutely right. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for your kindness as well and your donations. It all makes a massive difference. And also, thank you all for just being here, clicking like, clicking subscribe, and putting up with me talking absolute nonsense. And Kath, yeah, it's all good. Thank you very much. I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video, which will be on Bank Holiday Monday. So keep your eyes out for it, and yeah, have a great rest of your weekend. I have no idea if that's